Hi, Patricia. How are you? We got somebody else on there with you, but it looks like it's a little slow. We'll wait a few minutes. Oh, we got some people coming on now. Everybody, let me know. You know what? We've never done. I'll wait a few minutes, but I think we ought to say where we are so I can have a feeling of where you guys are. I really like to know more about you. So I know where Patricia is. She's in the Boston area. Yeah, they'll be along shortly. Oh, we're up to 8 already. So everybody, why don't you just put down where you're from so we have a feel for where our audience is pulling from. It's mostly U.S. probably because of the time frame. I know some of our European and Asian people have expressed that they can't get in on it this time, but nobody want to tell, huh? Nope, I guess not. We just lost 5 people all at once when you ask people to say where they're from. So I guess they don't want to say, huh? Oh, yep, we know you're Massachusetts. I remembered that. And let's see. So everything going well today, Patricia? We'll sit and since nobody else is talking to us, we'll just that's okay. We're good with that. Because I've got a great video I want to show too about awakening and how people are starting to awaken. It's kind of cool. It's one woman that it all of a sudden hit her. So I'm going to play it. I hope it's not a copyright thing, but we'll see. So, all right. So let's start talking about some of the stuff, and people can always catch up if they want to, right? That's what I'm talking about. All right. So let's see what we got here. Got some things, lots and lots going on, guys, that are really good, good indicators that we're moving along in this awakening process here. And of course, every week it just seems like it's getting more and more and more, doesn't it? So, all right, so let's take a look here. So, in case you don't know, President Trump wrote an executive order regarding standard childhood vaccines. And basically, what it did is it separated vaccines into 2 categories: childhood and adolescent. And so for children, what they've got here is that measles, mumps, rubella, diphtheria, tetanus, pertussis, polio, flu vaccine, type B, pneumococcal disease, and HPV, which is the, don't ask me why you give children vaginal wart stuff, but I know why. I know the argument, but I'm just saying. So the HPV vaccine and the varicella vaccine. And then certain high-risk groups. They've got monoclonal antibodies, hepatitis A, hepatitis B. And, you know, that one kind of gets me because my grandson was born to addicted to drugs. Not my daughter, but they adopted him. Anyway, it turned out they found out much later, about when he was 10 years old, that he was, well, no, they found out earlier. They found out when he was about 5 or 6, and it wasn't a problem. The doctor said, don't worry about it. It's a possibility. But when he was 10, he tested positive for hepatitis B. Well, I always thought that was like a death sentence. In fact, I remember when I was younger, one guy that had it, I was concerned about getting it myself. So I told him I just didn't think I could feel comfortable being intimate and all this stuff, which was not real nice because he was a great guy. But I just wanted to be honest with him that it made me feel a little bit uncomfortable. Anyway, my grandson took a series of antibiotics or antivirals now, and it was a done thing. So it's very treatable now. And I guess that's why he has it on the recommended in certain high-risk groups for the hepatitis B vax. But meningococcal and then dengue, which is, there's only been 1,400 cases in 2026, and it comes from a mosquito. 6 out of 3,798 cases were reported as death. So that means this dengue that they're recommending for a high-risk group is, and I guess that's immunocompromised people, because it's less than 1%. It's 0.1%, almost 0.2% of the people get it that die. This is getting ridiculous. Now, some people are kind of arguing that why is he doing this? Why is he approving any vaccines? Why doesn't he remove them completely and all this stuff? And guys, you have to remember that people are entitled to take them. If they want to take vaccines, that's their choice. And I don't think it's Trump or RFK's choice or hopes to stop anybody from getting any kind of care. That's our right as a human being. So there's going to be prescription drugs for the people that want to have them, for the people that have always had them, for the people that, didn't make their health the number one priority. And now perhaps they have diseases like diabetes and stuff. So there's always going to be those, at least for now. There's going to be drugs, there's going to be vaccines, so that people have that free choice. But what they did do is they're encouraging breaking these vaccines up. You used to go in and the baby got the triple MMR vaccine, boom. Now they're going to be 3 different shots that are separated. And when you consider this, every one of those vaccines, guys, have all of these contaminants in it. So when you combine 3 of them, then you're getting even more problems. So that's what Trump is saying, is that if you want to take them, that's fine, but we're recommending that you break them down into short, digestible, and we're not requiring all of the, what was it, 60 vaccines or something like that they were requiring for kids? Now they're down to what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It looks like 11. They've got 11 vaccines right now. So he's taken them down. And I think that's a really good thing that they've done that. They're not requiring them. Like I've said in the past, we got beautiful Vixen and Tahoe on here. Hi, guys. Hi, Hap. How you doing, Happy? And Mark. Hi, Mark. Oh, I might have something on that ghost, Mark. You drive me nuts with those icons. So anyway, or those, what do you call them? Those little emoji things. But we might have something on that for you, Mark. Anyway, so that's what he did. He broke down those vaccines. My daughter in Florida has always gotten an exemption for my grandson from the day he was born. And I don't know what it was. I think it was a religious exemption, but her doctor didn't give her, her pediatrician didn't give her any problem. So if you're feeling like you're being forced into doing and accepting health care that you don't really feel comfortable about, or even aren't sure right now and want to go back and do some research later, I urge you guys, look for another doctor if your doctor is indoctrinated into the whole big pharma aspect of it. Find new doctors, because there's lots of them out there, and there's going to be more and more going towards the natural route as physicians start, and nurses and pharmacists all begin to wake up as well. All right, the next thing that I had on here, which you may have heard, is that the Massachusetts governor just signed a bill allowing abortion up until the baby is born. And that's so sad. There's 2 red states. One just flipped. Michigan actually flipped red last election. They're allowing them up until birth. Alaska has always been red, and they're allowing them up until birth. And then, of course, all the blue states that allow up until birth is Colorado, Maryland, Minnesota, New Jersey, New Mexico, Oregon, and Vermont. And there is no cutoff whatsoever written into their laws. California actually does have a 24-week time frame, unless there's some mitigating circumstances. And it's the same with New York. So that's kind of odd, isn't it? That all of these liberals, all of these illegals, all of these people, it's almost like it's, tell me what you think about this, because it's almost like it's isolated. I don't know why. My lens dirty? I think my lens is dirty. Hold on, I think I have a smudge on the left-hand side here. Let's see. See if that clears up any. It did. Okay. All right, so now you can see my beautiful flowers there. All right, even though they're not real. So anyway, so I don't know what the deal is. You got the 2 bluest states that have a 24-week, and then you've got other states. Now, don't get me wrong. Decentralization is critical to stopping the control structure that happened to us in the past. So I'm all about decentralizing these decisions and giving them to states. However, I just find it a little peculiar that California and New York have limited them. They haven't passed laws. I don't know why. All right, let me take a look here and see what we got. We got lots of comments already on here. Nevada. Yep, we know you're in Nevada. Oh, hi, Ms. Wrong. Ms. Wrong, you're Miss Right. She's from California. So tell me what you think about that. Patricia is eating a nice salad. All right. Let's see. I haven't had my lunch yet, but that's okay. I don't usually eat one on until about late. I only eat like 3 times a day, and I should eat earlier, but I eat a little later. That EL will help spread them out over time. Exactly, Patricia. Exactly. Happy, happy, happy. Trump said in the Oval Office, if people want to take it, they can. Exactly. He's not, in spite of everything they're saying about him, he's not trying to take away their health care. It's just crazy, crazy. Hi, Vixen. Let's see. We're hooked on emojis. It's like a new drug. Come on. They take time, and I'm one of those speed persons. I want to get out as much out of my head because I have all this stuff always coming into my head, and I got to get it out, So I don't take the time to look for them. And so I haven't used them. I do more I'm an old timer. I use the LOL and the LMAO and all that stuff, but I'm getting better at it. You fired your PCP. I'm looking for a holistic doctor now. Good for you, Happy. Good. See if you can find one. I don't know what your situation is, but you want to look for one if you can. If you have insurance, make sure it's covered. If you're on Medicare, you probably have to find a doctor that also has an MD. And I don't know where you're at, but if you're in a big area, in my area, there is none. But if you find a holistic doctor that also has an MD, you can get your Medicare to pay for it. Otherwise, they give you like $100 to buy some supplements, and that's it. Vic. Who's Vic? Hello, Vic. Happy. All right. I didn't know there were 72 of those bioweapons. Holy shit. Massachusetts government is off the wall. Yeah, tell me about it. All of our doctors keep leaving Nevada. Really, Tahoe? I wonder why that is. They all claim to love it here, but I think many of the ARNPs, I'm assuming that is, are choosing. Yeah. And I'll tell you what, from being a pharmacist, what I can tell you is the money is unbelievably more as a traveling person. It's really a good gig. I did relief, and I never was with a traveling agency where I went state to state, but for a number of years, I worked for a relief agency. So I went to different pharmacies, and I got to meet different people, see how different things. I wasn't stuck in one rut. The problem with that I saw is you'd walk into a Walmart and the conditions would be horrible. You had no say in it. You'd walk into some really understaffed places, and it was dangerous from a liability standpoint. That's the only problem with traveling, is you really don't know. But as far as when you go out of state, the money is exponentially more. Plus, you get your housing, you get all of these mileage and stuff like that, and food that you don't get as a regular nurse or pharmacist or doctor even. So I don't know if that's a good thing, because there is something to be said for getting to know your patients. So from that standpoint, especially with a prescriber like an ARNP or physician, I think it's important that you have a relationship with your patients, and it's actually the law for a doctor, but they only have to see them once and create a chart, and that is the relationship. Hi, sweetie. Tim's home for lunch. He got home. We thought he wasn't going to get home because his truck broke, but it got fixed quick. So anyway, I don't know what you think about that, guys, but I think we need traveling professionals, but then again, we lose that patient relationship with our doctor, physician, pharmacist, whatever. So pros and cons of both. All right, now let me just check the comments here, guys. I'm going to keep up with you guys here today, but I got something that I thought was kind of interesting. Oh, you blabber, Mark. You're doing one of my things. Oh, we got Helen here. Hi, Helen. Where are you, sweetie? There you are. Hi, beautiful. Okay, so let's see. DW. Who's DW? Promised me a hover car from our disclosure clandestine. I don't know what that is. I'm not good with these things, but I do know what the hover car is. And you blabbed, but that's okay. Interesting. I saw an online surge. My surgeon is a DO. I meet him on the 19th, fingers crossed. Okay, a DO, I don't have a problem with them. But definitely, because they both go through rigorous training and yeah, basically very similar curriculums. Yeah, I remember I looked into it at one point when I considered becoming a physician, and I thought about going the DO route too. It's a little quicker, but in the long run, I thought I was going to get more time with my family as a pharmacist, but I didn't. So anyway, yeah, just check his credentials and go in so that Tahoe. There's online databases. If you don't know, then mark it here, and I'll find you some while we're online. But there are, and maybe some other people can look too. There are online databases that you can check for a physician and check his reports by his patients. You can also check and see if there's any actions on his license, like lawsuits, either open or closed, and that will be in your state licensing. So you just look up state licensing of doctors, and you can go in there, search his name, and that'll tell you if he's ever been sued, what for, what the results of that was, and so forth. And also, you can go into one that is more like a Yelp for physicians. I forget what that one is. If you need those, we'll find them for you while we're online here. Let's see. But definitely just check them out really good. Do your healing in your mind. Do all that stuff that you've got to do and get yourself ready. And then move on. Start laughing, huh? All right. Let's see. Yeah. I think you make a really good point, Happy. And I'm going to tag RFK in this on X. That's one of the things, guys. If you're not on X has a lot of BS, a lot of lies, and a lot of AI generated content. But they do give you the option of pushing that little button that I've shown you before, where you can check and confirm if it's a lie or not. Let me just show you here where that little button is, so that you know, in case you've never been on there. All right, so you go to X, right? This little button right here. When you push up on that, that will explain the post right here in this little box, and it gives you options to ask anything that you want. So for that reason, I think it's really, really a great platform. I don't agree with Grok. I think it's very biased and still very left-wing on Grok. But at least on the platform of X, you can get really good uncensored information, pretty uncensored, and you can actually check and see if it's lies too. So I'm going to tag what you can also do on there, and they're really active on this. You can, when you type something, you can put at this, and you can tag people. I tag everybody. I tag the president all the time. I tag RFK Jr. I tag the Department of Health. I tag DOJ and ICE and everything else on there. And lots of people, that's how these people are getting busted, is there was just one I saw where a nurse, that nurse, maybe you heard about her, or maybe you didn't, that was wishing that something horrible happened to Caroline Levitt with her delivery or something. And I mean, she wished the most horrible things for a mother having a child. And I just saw today, and I tagged the Department of Health and the Nursing Association on her, and because she was a nurse, they all are nurses, and she was busted. She was just arrested and lost her job. So that's the way it goes. But I'm going to go on to X, and I'm going to tag RFK Jr., and maybe you might want to do that, Happy, too, or anybody else, that we need to push for naturopathic doctors or holistic doctors, alternative doctors, to be reimbursed by Medicare and Medicaid. And insurance companies, although I think more insurance companies actually do it. And it's only financially sound because they will push the prevention, and people that are going to naturopathic doctors are trying to be healthier. Obviously, they're trying to stay away from all the poisons everywhere and stuff. So I think it would be a cost-saving method for these insurance companies, Medicare, Medicaid, to reimburse for them. And I heard that VA was doing it, but that there's not many providers that they're taking and so forth. So I don't know about that. Maybe we got a veteran on here that can tell us that. Yep, having a good relationship is absolutely essential. But now, wait. Oh, yeah, with the doctor. I think so too. Because you know everything about you. I knew everything about my patients, and they'd walk in and I'd remember them. And if I didn't, I'd look it up and I'd go back and take time with them. And I truly, truly cared about the outcome of their condition. When you run them through like cattle in these, and I'm speaking pharmacies and also doctors' offices, but when you run them through like cattle and the pharmacist never sees them anymore, and you get that paper that tells you how to take your drug that nobody ever looks at, and they throw it away right off the bat with the bag. When that all happens, it degrades the quality of our healthcare. There's never an interaction now with the pharmacist where you feel comfortable asking a question or saying hi or how's your family, or they don't, just like they have eliminated family interactions and they're trying to estrange families, they're also trying to estrange healthcare providers from their patients. And I think that could be a big reason why a lot more doctors probably gave those vaccines than might have if they really had a good interaction with their patients. All they cared about is, you got it? Oh, look, you don't have it? Okay. And they spend more time with their face in the chart than they do with your eyes. So I really think that's pivotal. Yeah, exactly, Happy. I've been trying to do this. Thank you. Good. Okay. Let us know if you need any help, Tahoe. In other words, just check them out good. Just put the word out there. Do some affirmations before you go in. Program your mind, and you're going to be just great. In other words, if they have a rap sheet a mile long where you could break your leg, you want to go the other way. Exactly. Exactly. Or, it's not even a rap sheet so much. It's complaint after complaint, because sometimes very few people actually file a complaint with the state licensing boards. Instead, we go on and we, want to badmouth them online. And I do it too. I'm just as guilty, because who wants to get involved with, all that time involved with the state? They make it hard to file a complaint with the state. Let's put it that way, or the licensing boards. So that should be streamlined, but it's more of malpractice issues. Yeah, I don't want him where he's a robber either, obviously. Like that Uber driver that they just busted that was delivering food in a stolen car. Can you imagine? In other words, if they have, yeah, okay. Happy is always happy. Thank you, Tahoe. We need to pay attention to anyone who has hand in our health. We need to pay attention to anyone who has their hand in our health. Read everything they give you. Again, let me just put this into your mind so that you never forget it. Healthcare is a practice, okay? It's not a science in the sense of an exact science. It's not an exact science. It never will be, because of the intricacy of the human body. And every one of us are different. Everybody responds differently to everything. And there's just no one size fits all. And that's why I'm not one of those people that just say, cut all your meds off right now. Just cut them off. No. Because I also know that you can take a sugar tablet, and if you believe it's working for you, then it's going to work for you. So, and that's the placebo effect. We've known about it for years, but they never elaborated on what that really meant. So that's why I am never an absolutist. It's very unique, and it is the practice. They don't know anything. They can't predict with any degree of certainty the prognosis in any particular patient, whether you're going to have side effects, whether you're not going to have side effects, whether it's going to be effective. That's up to you guys. You guys have to then kick in your body and decide what you're going to do, because you're always in charge, always. They wanted me to get a heart cath. I said, you're absolutely out of your mind. My father-in-law had a heart cath, and they come in through your leg, right through your thigh. They hit a nerve, and the man never walked again. Never. Okay, so I've just seen too much in this industry that human beings are handling this. And if there's even machines doing it, human beings are controlling the machines that are doing it. So there's always a human interaction in there somewhere, and human beings make mistakes. Your nurse practitioner was very frustrated. She did tell me she was only given 10, 15. Yeah. And here's, I don't know if it works anymore, Tahoe, but years ago, basically I had this deal with my ex-husband who had to have an amputation on his foot. He was serious diabetic. And the man's got an open, gaping wound. We're paying, and I had state health insurance, government health insurance, which was really good. And we were paying these people to come in, and she's telling us the same thing. I can only stay this amount of time. And I'd be, oh no, you're going to stay however long it takes, because I'll tell you what, if something happens and this man loses his leg because of your decisions, you're the one that's going to get sued. You and the doctor are going to get sued, not the insurance company. And the insurance company, actually, I told her. But you're going to get sued. Just say that. Just say, I understand that, and I'm sorry about that. If you want me to talk to somebody, you let me know, and I'll talk to your supervisor. But I want her to know also that if something happens to me, that you're all going to get sued. And, you know, at that time, we had some leverage, because what I finally did is I got on with some attorneys at the insurance company. And they were telling me that they wouldn't pay for this medicine. It was very expensive, but it was working amazing, growing back tissue around his foot. So they weren't going to pay for this drug. So I basically went to the doctor and I said, are you prescribing this drug for him? It's effective. He says, yes, I want to prescribe it. So then I went to the insurance company. I said, the doctor's prescribing it. Are you changing his order? Because if you change his order, then you're practicing medicine. And it's a very fine line there. So insurance companies can't practice medicine. To my knowledge, they still can't. Who knows what Congress has written into the law, but it's just something that, and you'll play hell trying to get that on any kind of resource as far as the AI. They're always going to make an excuse for the medical complex. Always, always, always. They're going to justify it. Why? Because that's the mainstream, and that's what they pull their data out of. Let's see. Let her get frustrated. Just don't let it. I hope it doesn't bother you. But that's how it works. You're right. It's nothing but money. And then if you get no response, then, like I said, you start getting online, you start calling newspapers, whatever. That's what I do because I'm a troublemaker. Tim, on the other hand, my sweet love, would say, oh, they might do something to me if I do that. Go ahead. I dare you to do something. You know, that's how I kind of feel. You have to stand up for your rights, and you can't be afraid of this machine that controls our entire life. There has to be a transparency between us and the doctors that we decide to choose. Exactly. You have to be honest with them too. I might be, Mark. No, not yet. That Uber driver, I know. And he got shot. I think he got killed, and the passenger was there or something. It was just sick. You don't know what to do. We're afraid to order to have food delivered to our home because of that. Oh, you missed the Uber story, Tahoe? But a woman stole a U-Haul in the town over, and they surrounded her I remember that in a Rally's parking lot. That's why I feel afraid of any surgery. And I understand that. I believe me, I do. But at some point, you have to make the decision of the risk versus the benefit. So, what is the risk if you don't do it? What is the risk if you do it? And which one has a higher incidence? And if you've been told to have that surgery, that is to prevent metastasis, which is not only a high incidence, but in many an inevitability at some point. So the risk is very high if you don't have it. It's just what I'm thinking, but you know your situation. This is what I know of others that had the same thing. So so the risk is very high. My sister, it metastasized in my sister because she refused the surgery is why it metastasized. And I just know that. Now, what are the chances of them making a mistake? You know, you have to be on top of them every time. What I would do is I would make sure that I have a full workup. You're over there. Where is? No, they're up north. There's nothing by you. Um, one thing I can say is, in your situation, rather than going to a surgeon that has privileges in a hospital, I would find a local institute, if you can, that has a multi, um, I forget what you call that, but they have that you have a team. You don't have one doctor. You have a team of people that are all looking out and considering it from their specialty. For instance, let me tell you about my dad when we took him to Mayo Clinic. My dad had previously had open heart surgery. Okay, he was clogged and all this stuff, and rather than not eating, he just had the fear thing and went with it. Well, he had real bad emphysema from the VA blowing out his heart by not checking on levels of theophylline. See, and you don't know this stuff, guys. I only knew it because it was my life. So anyway, he died on the table, and they brought him back when he had the open heart surgery. So when he got the cancer and he went to Mayo Clinic, I told you about what we did with the he had because they found a secondary it was a second primary cancer. So he was going for lymphoma, right? And he had a secondary or a primary second cancer that was found in his kidneys. Well, we didn't want to leave it there. We just didn't want to leave it there if we could avoid it. And I told you about that. They did it without giving him any anesthesia. However, when he was going in, now this is Mayo Clinic, they sat for a week, and every one of those specialists, the heart specialists, the lung specialists, the GI specialists, all of these people, the oncologist, of course, the anesthesiologist, they got in a room and they sat and they all went over their findings. He saw every one of them. They all went over their findings together. This is what I recommend. And they worked as a team. Well, we went through a big hullabaloo telling them that he had died on the table from the respirator and the general anesthesia when he had the heart surgery. And so in that ablation, we did not want him to have a general anesthesia, that he was not to go in. The agreement was, it was made between the teams, that if they were doing, because what they did is they actually went into his kidney and burnt a tumor out. It's called ablation. It's this claw that clamps around the tumor and then just fries it. Okay, this man, this is how amazing my dad was. He agreed to do this without anesthesia, and it was decided by the doctors that they would go out on a limb and they would try that for him. And that's what I liked about that place. And they didn't have to do it. He did it without the anesthesia. But here's my point. One of the best institutes in the world, in my personal opinion, from years in this practice. And we're there talking to him, and all of a sudden this girl says, okay, you guys have to leave. I said, oh, is he going into surgery now? She's a nurse. And she says, no, we're putting him under anesthesia. Boom. I said, stop right now. Get his doctor on the phone. And they did. But they almost, if I didn't know what was going on, he would have been put under. So all you can do is ask a lot, Tahoe. Tell them, share them that you have concerns. My sister, I haven't heard yet. She was having chemo. She was still in chemo a second time, and then she's going to have surgery. Oh, no, that's right. That's right. I'm sorry. I don't think she is going to, because here's the problem. Once it metastasizes, surgery is no longer an option in most cases, depending on where it went to. In hers, I think it went, I don't know, went to the liver and someplace else. So what I'm saying is, yeah, there's a risk in doing that, but be aware of it. And the risk of some kind of adverse event from the human factor of this is much lower than it metastasizing. So you always weigh those two, the risk versus the benefits. And that's only my opinion, as my personal situation. I'm not giving you any medical advice. That's how I would take care of myself. All right, so let's see. Let me just see. Okay, we're there. Yeah, that's the thing, Patricia. We are too trusting. We let them use all these tests and procedures and medicines on us. The key is sometimes if you're not willing to put the effort and the dedication it takes to heal your body, and it's not easy, guys. It includes exercise. It includes meditations or mind. I don't want to say mind control. That's what they used to call it a long time ago, but mind adjustments, frequency adjustments. It takes your diet, and that's where most people fail, the diet and the exercise. And if you're not willing to go whole hog into it, then you have no choice but to go with these people. In some situations, there are conditions where it almost mandates allopathic medicine because nature is too slow. Nature doesn't work quick. If you're not ready to drop dead from a completely blocked artery, then you have time to immediately start reducing cholesterol in your arteries and veins and stuff like that. If it's something, like I said, that could metastasize quickly, if it's slow growing, even, it's not a problem. If it were some kind of renal cell where it was very slow, that it could take 10 years for some, I would heal that probably myself. It's just, it all depends on the types of conditions that we have. Yes, if we're unconscious, there's a possibility we become a bioweapon pincushion. Well, here's the thing. The bioweapon, I cannot in all good conscience say that every drug is a bioweapon. I can say every drug is profit motivated, almost in all cases, but I can't say they're bioweapons. I've seen too many people that would be dead right now if they didn't have the drugs. If you are in fibrillation and you're dying, yes, a shot to slow that down could save your life. And I'm not talking about, again, guys, I want you to be clear. I'm not talking about mild fibrillation, okay? Because I believe they have totally overdone that whole thing. And they've made you think that fib is the end of the world, okay? Well, my dad was in fibrillation for weeks in the hospital because they overdosed him, and that's how bad the fibrillation was. And he didn't die from the fibrillation. He died from putting him to sleep, euthanizing him with Ativan and morphine, or one of those. I think it was Ativan and morphine. So he didn't die from the AFib. Now, there are times in a crisis situation where it's not. You know what I'm saying? Not everyone is a bioweapon from a medical standpoint. And so that's why I'm a little more middle here. We need to trust to a certain point if the situation is right in front of us. I totally agree, Patricia. And it's not only, let me put it this way, in my opinion, it's not necessarily trusting. It is trusting the staff and creating a relationship and making an eye contact with them and maybe holding their hand or touching their hand and making a vibrational connection with your surgeon, with your others. And you know what? Don't be afraid. If you're sitting there and they're getting ready to put you under general anesthesia, say, could I talk to my doctor for a minute? Or do that right up front, not when they're getting ready to put you under, but right up front, say, I'd like to talk to my doctor for a minute before I go in. And just say, I'm a little scared, but I trust you. I put a lot and just make a connection with that man. Let your vibration, and then trust in the universe. I mean, you know how hard it was to let Dan go, but I believe that he had a purpose on this earth, and he's doing good for other people. And so there's a point, like my little girl that I lost, that she died. She was fighting so hard for cancer, with cancer, lymphoma she had. And I mourned her so badly. And the same with my sunshine. I mourned them so badly. I didn't euthanize them. I put them to sleep. I mean, they died naturally. But it was their time and it wasn't my place to stop what was going on, and they moved on, and that was their way of having the final say in what was happening to them. So I'm just saying that sometimes it's hard to understand, but I don't believe this is the end. I believe that I connect with my mother and my past pets and my grandmother all the time whenever I want to. So I can actually feel them, and sometimes I don't hear their words with my ears, okay? But I get premonitions that I'm being talked to by them. Maybe some of you guys get that same thing from lost ones. But, you know, that's the whole Houdini thing coming back and all that. It's real, guys. There is a telepathic thing going on in this energetic world. We're deciding vindication of our good or bad healing transformation. I'm kind of a little fuzzy on that. Vindication, which is proven of our good or of the transformation. Okay, yeah, I can agree with that. I was going to say I don't think there's necessarily all good and all bad either. Let's see. Oh, Patricia, you're having cataract surgery on August 17th, but you're surrendering yourself to it. Yeah, I hear you, baby. I need to have some implants. I need to have dental implants, but I'm holding off. Just I can live without it right now, but sometimes you can't. And cataract surgery, my ex-husband had lens surgery, and he was a real bad diabetic, and it was amazing. He did lose his sight for a little while, for like 24 hours, 48 hours. He lost his sight after the surgery, but they said it would come back, and it slowly did. Let's see. They may be able to do the cataract surgery without knocking you out. Keep praying. I would check into that. That's a good idea, Happy. They might be, there may be some topical anesthetic drops. I know that there are anesthetic drops that are topical still. So, but I don't know what they use in the surgeries and stuff. So that's a thought. Patricia says team, like Massachusetts General operates that way, in teams, giving input. Right. It's a whole team looking at all of the aspects. I personally, if I had a choice, I would choose something like that. And I understand that finances and insurances and all of that make a big difference, because institutes like Mayo Clinic don't take, Medicare. They take a lot of other insurances, but not Medicare, and they don't bill it for you. They'll fill out the paperwork, but you got to send it in or something like that. I forget what it was. Okay, but it was worth every bit of aggravation if we had any, which I don't think we did. All right, let's see. We're deciding. Yep. Yeah, so that's how she's doing. I don't know. She's on chemo. I think it's hitting her kind of hard this time. She went to Mayo Clinic. She first started out at Moffitt Cancer Center, and we had urged her, because Mayo is 5 hours from us. She owns a motorhome. So, I just thought that if it were me, again, if it were me, I would take my motorhome for all the experiences I've had in my years in retail pharmacy, as well as dealing with my dad. And so the second time she went up, and here's the thing. With cancer, what I learned at Moffitt Cancer Center is one of the most rational things that we can do is hit it hard and then repair our body later. Hit it hard, get rid of it now, because most of the side effects you can come back from if it's done properly. So yes, it might be it's kind of like, how do I say it? It's something that you really don't want to do. You don't want to do a diet. You don't want to deprive yourself. You're starving to death. You're in pain. But when it's over, you're so happy that you did. You know what I'm saying? That kind of like that. It's one of those you'll be happy afterwards things. That sounds better, but I have had to get a referral from a GI doctor to get a different surgeon because the first one didn't accept any financial assistance. Oh, and no longer affiliated with our hospital. Yes. Okay. All right. Well, you have to work within the constraints that you have, and I know the insurance companies. You got to really fight a lot. Don't be afraid to fight. This is your life. Don't be afraid to fight. But then again, also don't make yourself sick doing it. You know what I'm saying? Do what you have to do. Make sure you've exhausted whatever you want to exercise in control of this whole situation, and then just turn it over. Turn it over. Okay, and so it is. Let's see. I know you're worried, sweetheart. Everybody send Tahoe your love. And Patricia, she's also having surgery, but Tahoe has had a stretch. She is in 4D, I believe, right now, and she's getting ready to come out into a higher frequency. Yeah, I know you don't want to be put completely under. Maybe they can do a block. Can they do a block like they do with pregnancy? I don't see why not, depending if it's local there. So you might want to ask something like that, Tahoe, if you can get a block. Let's see. I had radio frequency. You had it too, Patricia, to my heart. Under local, not put out. I was in a cath lab. It was successful. Now, I don't know if it was the same or how much, because I really had never heard much about it before we dealt with that with my dad. But, and perhaps now they do it with locals. This was, gosh, I want to say I was living up in the Panhandle then. This was about 2004, 2005. This was 20 years ago at the soonest. So I don't know what they do now. I've been out of it for so long. Semi-conscious state would be better. Absolutely. They call it twilight. And I've had dental work under twilight. I had all 4 of my wisdom teeth done under twilight, and I didn't feel anything. I had an irregular heartbeat since 18. Got it fixed when I was about 40. It's been perfect. Good. Also, meditation. 15 minutes for yourself, Patricia. 15 minutes. You might be taking more than that already, but just close your eyes, relax, and think about what's inside. Oh, that's okay. The thing is, we come out of it. Like I said, I went through what I believe to be 4D, and it was the most horrible 10 years of my life. And I have to say that I really didn't have a lot of problems. I had things, the rape and all that, but it went off my back. I never considered that it stuck with me. You know what I'm saying? And at that 10-year period where I had so much going on with my dad and the oil spill all at once, and family issues, just one thing after another, I just literally crashed, and I didn't think I'd be here with you today. So I just, I was meant to be here, by the grace of God, if that's how you say it. I was meant to be here, and we have to just do that, and yeah, it was bad. We all go through stuff, some worse than other. I just always say, I always think that it could be worse. It could always be frigging worse. Don't ever say that, because then the universe will say, oh yeah, let me show you. So I never say it couldn't be worse. Never. We do need to pray for positive transformation, and we'll take a minute. I noticed a couple dropped off last time we did that. Tahoe, let us know before you go, and keep posting it to somebody else if I miss it. But that we have to pray, and it doesn't even matter if you're not here, but we do have to pray. Okay, Tahoe says, I was praying for, and we'll do that at the end. I was praying med beds for our dental and eye needs. Now this unexpected situation. I do not have the funds for implants. Please, med beds. I know. Neither do I. And it would really, I don't want to, if I took every bit of everything we had and, we could do it, it would put a hurting on us. and I don't even know how much it is at this point, but actually Medicare was going to pay for, I don't know, 1,500. Do you remember how much Medicare was paying on that, Tim? It was 1,500. It wasn't a lot, but it was something. It was approved for so much on that or something. I don't. And then got some loan thing on it, but they said they're not putting me out just today. That's too cool. I had cataracts removed at 40, so at 76 it should be better technically. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, it should be. You would think in 36 years we might have increased. Are the med beds in Japan the same as the lunar beds? Now, Mark, I have to say, this past week or two is the first time I heard the language lunar bed. And those lunar beds were, I looked it up and it was a commercial product of some kind that was based on frequency. But it wasn't, it didn't have the, from my understanding, from what I read about it, it didn't have the holographic diagnostics and the ability. It basically was just frequencies, general overall frequencies. It wasn't the holographic projection onto your body. So, and I don't know about these Japanese ones. I just can tell you that you're right to use that language, med beds, because med beds really have no specific term. We think that the med beds are the ones that are coming from the other side, and they are. But when this all first started, I years ago looked for med beds. I got things like, and I remember it being used. Hospital beds, okay, are technically med beds. There's beds that have all these things on them, these monitors and stuff that come on them, and they were called med beds 20, 30 years ago. So we need to clarify here that when we're talking about the extraterrestrial med beds, what we are talking about is a diagnostic device with the capability of creating a perfect holographic health blueprint for our minds to manifest the changes. So that is what the extraterrestrial beds are. These ones that we're talking about here with the lunar beds and whatever there is in Japan now, what these are, and maybe I'm wrong, you can correct me, but what I saw, and I didn't spend days looking it up, but what I saw were beds that basically played various frequencies there. And I think they also used lights, red lights or something. It's a completely different technology, let me put it that way. And what I'll say is they very well may be effective. I think they were really expensive too, weren't they, Mark? They, Ardana, who was one of the ETs, I forget what her position was, but she was one of the commanders on the Pleiadian ships. And she said, and she talked about these on-Earth med beds that we have, these devices that we have. And she also said that they can be beneficial, but they're not nearly what the beds of the future will be, that we'll be getting. So, yes, the only thing I can tell you is my experience, and I went to what they called at the time Tesla med beds with my little doggie. And I actually I started volunteering at the MedBed Center, and I spoke to patients. Some of you, I apologize if this is redundant for some of you, but I know we have others that may not have heard it or whatever. So, or maybe new. So anyway, I did notice an immediate response from my little girl after she had been in the med bed room, and all these were biohealers. These devices, cans, tin cans, and now they had very big ones there, but they were embedded under the beds. And we also used some tachyon discs with her, and it was beneficial. However, It was short-lived. It was almost like she had to be in it nonstop. She was in pretty bad shape. And so I would, and that's consistent with oh, and then I spoke to Dr. Lee. He was wanting me to do some medical research for him, or medical writing for him. And I spoke to Dr. Lou, and he said that I told him about Miss Tilly, and that we had gotten the treatment, the med bed. We had been there for a whole day and so forth. And he said, you need at least 3 months. And that is consistent with not a technology, with a propensity of the brain that we talked about in one of my videos. I have to go back. I want to redo some of these old ones. I got so much to do. And putting new ones would take a lot of research and stuff. And the Dan ones are very hard. They're difficult for me, a little difficult for me to stay focused for too long without wandering. So some of these old ones we need to go over. Anyway, this particular one, I forgot what I was saying. I hate when that happens. It was an ability. There's different ones of the brain, and this one I hadn't thought about in a while. Oh, well, we're going to have to pass that. It'll come up. I'll look for that video, guys, but I got it from the Gateway Experience document in the Army, the declassified Gateway Experience document. And gosh, damn, I hate when that happens. You just draw a blank. All right, so anyway, yeah, so ask them what you need to ask them, Taha. Don't be afraid. From what I understand, it's reactivated ancient technology, magnetic frequency. Okay, that is happy. That sounds like promotional marketing hype to me. Because basically the ancient technology is what they've known for forever. They've known this about the ability of the mind to heal the body. That we've known that's the ancient technology. And yes, the video that I did on solfeggio frequencies, the monks forever and ever and ever, hundreds and hundreds of years ago, monks played solfeggio frequencies for healing. So that's ancient technology, you know. And I would ask questions is what I would do. Magnetic frequency, that is connecting with the whole field. So yes, I get that. Holographic, I would want to know exactly holographically what it did, and the ability to replicate with the healing through the universe. Okay, well, replicate. It sounds like it's talking about the technique, the method of the mechanics of how med beds work. They're talking about the mechanics. Now, I would, before I put any big money into it, I would say, okay, now explain this, this, and this to me. Exactly how is it holographic? And they may know, but I just would find it hard to believe that anybody is at any point of perfection. Now, the good point of it is, in that all probability, unless they have some, it could do harm with the wrong frequencies. So I'm not going to say that. Just do your homework. That's all we can do, guys, is do our homework. And no, I don't know about these Japanese ones, but I just know that don't believe that they're the extraterrestrial ones, because they're not out yet, and nobody's going to get a heads up on those. About the med beds in Japan. Maybe they can be a different level of healing for different, yeah. And there always will be different types of devices that we use, some for less invasive stuff, maybe something just for rejuvenation. We already have those. I think those red lights work. I'm just not consistent, guys. I think this is the thing with Americans, that we want everything right now. So we want to use that device once, and that's the end of it. At least with these, we want something that is so strong that we can use it once and it works for at least a couple years. And the devices that we have right now don't work that way, that I've seen. They may work, like I said, they did with Miss Tilly. She had immediate benefit, but it doesn't last. It's not a lasting healing. So So there's going to be all kinds of devices out there, but and there already are some, I believe, but the key, even with energy healing, is consistency. All right, let's see. Maybe Elena can be a guest here. That's so cool, Spirit, everything you have learned. I don't know. I actually don't know Elena personally. I knew Dan, and I'm sure Dan had spoken to her. In fact, he had mentioned that he had mentioned me to her and stuff. So she probably knows of me. But my relationship was with Dan more than Elena, and she travels a lot. I do know her, and have hugged her beautiful sister, who does all of her websites. I could reach out to that and stuff. Um, it's just that this this we're not getting enough people on these lives to do that. You know, and if we're going to do that, we want a great reach, and probably advertising that we're going to have her might help. I don't know, but a lot of people, if you guys don't know, a lot of people believe that she's uh, on the wrong side because of a deliberate smear campaign against Elena. And that's how you always know who's on the right side. I have my other reasons for knowing why she is the real deal, but that's, you know, there are people that might be turned off by that. I don't know. But I would love to have her, but I just would want to have a large enough audience to make it beneficial for her. There was a podcaster who, because she's very, very busy, that a podcaster who used the Tesla healing cans. Sherry Ray, sorry, can't spell. Yeah, I have one. Tim, can you give me one of those Tesla devices? Is there one in the office? I know there's one under the bed upstairs. Let's see. Yeah, I'll show you. I have two of them. And that's the one that we used for Miss Tilly. Only she actually went into the room that had many, many, many of them. I have a little one that I paid $500 for, or something like that. Let's see. Yeah. So, are you consistent with your red light? Oh, you just got that pad. I kind of wish I got a pad that I could just lay on, because mine needs wrapped up and around, and just so you know, it's every part of you. You got to do your face exercises. You got to do your face enzymes. You got to do this. You got to exercise. You got to lay on the red light. You got to. Oh my gosh, guys, life is rough, you know. Let's see. Where we go here? There was a Sherry Ray. That sounds kind of familiar. Yeah, yeah. Go ahead. Tell us what the red light does. I can tell you that, Helen, that both Tim and I have one, and we've used it, and it does help with inflammation. It takes away pain of inflammation and stuff. But the problem is, again, you have to use it consistently. It seems like we've got to fix whatever the imbalance is all over our body to kind of like, maybe it's neuroplasticity, where you got to reestablish a new pathway, or you just go back to the old. I was talking to one of the AIs about that, and I think that was one of the things, because I was talking about why people can self-heal, like my friend Dan, and then die of something like cancer. And one of those things was neuroplasticity. Now, Dan, I'm not talking about Dan in this case, but did you find it?
No.
Oh, you're going upstairs. Okay. um, but so anyway, so there is this propensity in neuroplasticity. We carve these pathways. We've talked about this many times, but again, repetition is important, and we may have new people, so we want them to understand that. So there's these and it's very well documented, neuroplasticity. I was going to get a second degree in it, actually. But these pathways in the body that basically are like a habit. This certain reaction response, this certain chain of firings that go off on your neurons, they become a habit. And so when we do, and that's the same with pain in your back and wherever, and they become a habit. So we put these red lights on them. We somehow they seem to adapt and fix that pain. They take away the inflammation, is what they do, and so that a new pathway is forged. But if we don't do it repetitively and often until that old pathway of pain goes away and the new one of lack of inflammation, until you cut off that pathway that's creating inflammation to create that pain, and that only happens through repetition, like a habit. So that's been my problem with these red light things, and I suspect many others, is that I don't use them often enough and consistently enough. So I'd like to know, but of course, didn't you just get your device on that also? Let's see. Okay, Sherry. Happy I was talking to, I'm sorry. 6,000 or 60,000 patients. What healing stuff? I don't know what healing stuff you're talking about. I'm a little, unless I missed something up there. There might have been a 6,000. Oh, Tim, thank you, sweetheart. So this is the one that I have, and I keep it under the bed. They last about 3 years, and I have 2 of them. There's bigger ones that you can get. It's subtle, guys. It's subtle. It's like taking basil. It's a maintenance, not a rapid healing thing. The med beds of the future will be rapid healing devices, something like the Tesla biohealers. These are a more subtle healing. So, and I have a friend that I can refer you to that will take care of you. She's a beautiful soul. That's Dr. Medj Jaspin, and she's in Sarasota, but she will work with you long distance as well, because I know she travels to the med bed center. They have like I forget which state it is, but they have a hotel where they have, remember the pool in what was that movie where all the old people wanted the pool to become younger? They have a pool at, what was it? Cocoon. Yes, Cocoon. So the med bed, the Tesla, Dr. Lou's place, he's got this resort where you can go there, and they have this Cocoon med bed with all of these biohealers underwater, and you can see them on the website, and really, really cool to spend a week there or whatever for healing. That's something I would recommend to anybody. At one point, I don't think they have scholarships anymore, but at one time they were actually doing studies. But that might be something Tahoe or others might consider as well. I can text her and ask her if they still are doing the studies. I don't have my phone down here, but if they are, I'll put up. Wait. Let me see if I've got it right here. Hold on one sec. I think they stopped them. Yeah, there she is. All right. Let me just, hey girl, hope you were well. I don't know if you can, no, I don't think you can see my screen. Does Tesla have any scholarships or studies currently? All right. She's usually fairly good about getting back, so let's see. That might be something to consider for you, Tahoe. And I don't know yet how we'll get you here, but or get you there, but we'll figure a way to get you there if we can get you into something like that. Let's see. I know. Isn't that funny, Tahoe? It's terrible because she has all of these people, but it goes to show you that, well, it could be a couple things. It goes to show you that people can easily be brainwashed, where their own, they don't believe what they see. They believe what they're told. And that's a real sad thing. The other thing is, in my time here, and now she may have been demonetized because I don't remember if she has commercials or anything on hers. She mostly sells stuff like programs and stuff like that. But, stations like mine have been suppressed. There's absolutely no doubt about it. I've had it analyzed by AI, the numbers and the number of followers that I have, which were all organic followers. I never ever paid for anybody, but it's just because they're being suppressed by the algorithm. And I had a choice of doing all happy puppy kitty things, or doing something that I was born to do, that I was put on this planet to do. And so I just had to follow what I have to do, and I'll do it for as long as I can afford to do it. But she does have a huge following, and Elena doesn't have nearly the following that Sky Prince person has. But I think she's been doing it a long time too. I think she's been doing it a whole lot longer. Oh, okay, yeah. He said a mat. Let's hope happy. Yeah, he said it already. In the end, we need to take care of ourselves, even if we healed in the future. Exactly. We're still going to have to take care of ourselves. I don't know who's going to be left behind, who's going to be lost, and so forth. I'm not a biblical scholar or anything like that, but this whole ascension thing and all that, I can't relate to bodies flying up into the sky, but I can relate to people passing on. And I don't know what to think about that. That's antithetical to what I know in my heart is going on. So, and the way I rationalize that is that I believe that the whole ascension thing and all of those things were not intended to be taken literally. Just like when they talk about God, I don't think that was intended to be taken literally as pictures portray it. Let's put it that way. So anyway, I don't know why we got to there, but we are going to have to take care of ourselves in the end. Yes, we have to relearn, and it's not going to be hard, guys. It's not going to be hard, because I can tell you this, that once you get into a certain situation and those pathways in your brain are now looking to get up and have this morning health drink that you have, or it's looking to now the path of least resistance, the habit is now to go ride your bicycle in the morning, or go for a walk, or take the dog, or whatever. It's just that when we get out of that, those pathways that haven't been completely grown over come back. I notice the longer that I am off of something, the harder it is to come back. Like exercise. If I go off for a day or two, no problem. I can get right back on it. But if I get off of it for a month or two, it becomes real hard to restart it for me. So Happy uses the red light on his sore left shoulder and his left knee for a couple days, and the pain went away. Then I used it on my lumbar region, where I pulled a muscle for 3 different sessions. Yeah, it really does help. But again, you might want to consider that, Happy, that because of the pathways, I would do, even though the shoulder and the knee, the pain is better, I would get it to where every day that inflammation isn't there. If and just get it in a pathway of getting it. Maybe do it on all of those areas for a week or two, to just change the pathways of the neurons that have created that. And if it's a one-time thing, then that's another deal. Yeah, see, like you just pulled a muscle. That's not a chronic. Let's put it this way. Chronic conditions, I would say, to continue it even when you feel better. Happy, may I ask you where you purchased it? Okay, I picked it up on Amazon. It was $173, and now it's only $68. I'll throw the name in a minute. Okay. Thank you, Happy. I think a pad would be great for hard-to-reach areas with the tarot wands if you have nobody to assist you. Yeah, the pad that I got, Tahoe, I don't want to send Tim up again, but we have a pad that is 12 inches tall and 2 feet wide. And it kind of, and then there's this Velcro on it. So it can wrap tight around your shoulders, your neck, your back. It's not a full pad, it's like a wraparound thing. And it was also pretty cheap. Let's see. So there's all different kinds. And I'm assuming that maybe Happy's is like that because if you could wrap it around your lumbar as well as your knee, then it's got to be adjustable in size. That's what I'm saying, adjustable. They have pads, which I might use it more often, but the adjustable one is convenient because you can use it for many different things. I love those self-healing frequencies. I used them for my hip a year or two ago and it worked. No pain since. I know. It's just amazing how all of this works. Patents. I don't know what that means. Do the cans help ward away narcissists? Well, you know, I don't know how they work because they talk about biological, the bioenergy as opposed to the frill energy of the universe. And they are two different things. The frill is different than the bioenergy. So I don't think they would ward off jerks. No. Or narcissists. Oh, hi, Donald. Donald's here. Jimi Hendrix. Donald Hendrix is here. Okay, let's see. Good to see you, Donald. I heard Kearney, Arizona has a motel with these. Oh, really? I hadn't heard that. Check that out. Check that out. Look up the one. If you go to the regular Tesla site, they'll have the real one. But now here's the thing. Like my friend Medj, she is an independent person. She's not owned by the same company, but she gets the devices from them and works. She's one of their best people, but she didn't do it under them. She opened her own business for it. And anyway, so if she wanted to, if she had the resources and the money, she could buy a bunch of them and make a resort like that. So anybody can do it. I've just heard of the main one that's up north somewhere in Pennsylvania, up in that area. But that would be really cool if they had a motel there. But probably if there are any, and she hasn't gotten back to me that I can see. No, but if there, she might be with a patient. But anyway, if there are any deals that are going on right now, and that is an independent person, then they wouldn't apply to that person probably. Any scholarships or anything. We'll see. We'll take a minute and see. But you want to get the surgery anyway, I think, don't you? Spirit, we used the red light therapy in hairdressing school. Wow. 1968, cutting hair under red lights. It was called a lamp cut. Then in the field. What was the benefit of it, Patricia? Amazon, type in 60 light red watt therapy upgraded by Papaloo. Hold on. If you get it, let me get it. Hold on. I'll get you a link for it. And there's a reason for that, guys. I didn't want to take it if Happy had it. But if you buy it, I'm an Amazon affiliate, and I get small, but heck, every cent helps. All right. It didn't come up, Hap. 60 red light. From all deposits. Let me just show you and see if any of these are the one that you have. Okay. Are we showing? Yeah. All right. So here's what we got. There's this first one, which is like a wand thing. This is what I have right here. And see, it's like $30. And it's the same thing. You know, they say there's all different kinds, but it got 5 stars. So that's the one I got for $29.45. And then here's one for $69, which essentially looks like this one. This is very much like the one that Tim and I have. Or it could be this one. And it's one of those wraparound ones. Any of these the deal? In fact, you know what? Let's see.
Sure.
Let me go back to that. Okay, bye-bye, sweetie. Have a good day. See you in a little while.
Okay.
I'm going, oh, here, there's other ones. Are you guys seeing this? There's one for 43.77 Alalo, which was the first one. Yeah, look, here it is for 29.45. And here it is for 43 something. Looks like the same one, 660, 850, 660, 850. Wow. Limited time deal. I'm going to give you the link to this one. Okay, so here's the link to this one, Tahoe. Was it Tahoe that was looking for this? That's the one that's 29. You always have pain in the back. You know, it's kind of weird. Ever since I broke mine, or at least only when they told me, and before then it wasn't a problem. But when they told me I broke my back, it's kind of like always needing moved, adjusted, whatever. But I have this wonderful chair that I got 30 years ago when they were brand new and I was a pharmacist. I got this wonderful vibration chair. It doesn't have the heat. I wish it had the heat, but it doesn't. But it's a vibration chair. And I just sit in that thing like this and just lay down. And it's almost mental. It just totally adapts my back right then and there. Whatever's out, I can feel something pop a little bit and then I'm good. So I know what you're saying. It's terrible to have constant back pain. You might want to try that red light thing. Looks like we disconnected for a second, but I hope we're still on. Oh, Helen left. Okay. Looks like, wish I could stay on, but I've got to go. See, okay. If she already left, that was 3:15. Oh yeah, that was a while ago. So she might have left. Okay. I heard there were patents pending for health, either 6,000. No, it's 60,000 of them. It's 60,000 of them. That's what you're talking about. Yeah, I did a video on those. With a link to the site. Hold on 1 second. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah. This is this. It's, oh no, it's 6,000. I'm sorry. It is 6,000 plus. Here you go. This is, I'm putting the link in now for the patents. And these are nothing new. It wasn't as earth-shattering. You know, everything is blown up, guys, so much. And it has been for a very long time. But many of these patents have existed for a very long time, and it's not necessarily anti-gravity propulsion patents, you know. We're going to take baby steps in our evolution. I mean, like I said, think of this. I need to make a meme about this, but think of this. You know, to give mankind the power of some of these technologies right now, and to give them patents to do it without some kind of guidance, would be like giving monkeys, you know, a grenade and saying, here, play with this. You know, it's just, that's how we are. We're just not evolved enough for some of this technology. And so many of those patents, when I looked at them, they were not the earth, because you can actually look, I think, and see what they are. They weren't the earth-shattering things that you're hoping, replicators and stuff like that. I mean, we already have replicators. So we're so close. But it just realize that this is an evolution. We're evolving. It's not an overnight switch. Where were we? I still have a couple things on the back end there. Oh, type in LED. All right, I can do that. By Papa Blue. Papa Blue. All right, let's type this one in. Okay, let's see if I've got it. Oh no, let me tell me if it's it. All right, change this to make sure we get the whole thing searched. 60 LED. Make sure I got the right one too, huh? 60 LED, 300 watt red light therapy upgraded. Okay. I should have it because I just, all right. And then I did this. All right. Any of these? How much did you say it was? 89? Is that the one? No, that's not it. You know, there's so many. What I think goes on with these things is they're all made in one place, overseas in China somewhere. It like these Alalo, Fiovu, they're all the same thing. So I don't know that that necessarily matters. Let me put this link up for you too. Okay. All right. So if you do buy one, look through, if you just go into one of these links, because you won't pay anymore and I'll get something, which like is nothing, but it's, trust me, if I make $5 on one of these, which I don't think it's often that high, but if I did, because they're all different, if I did, I mean, that helps with one of my softwares. So if you can use that, it's a good thing. All right, let's see what else we got here. Patents pending, now I understand. And those are sealed patents. They're not patents. Oh, take this off. Those are sealed patents. They're not necessary. They're not patent pending. Once, I believe that they still have to go through the process, but maybe I'm wrong there. I'm not a patent lawyer, so maybe I'm wrong. Forget that. Mine is more purple. Now I got, let's see, I'm a little bit behind. Okay, so we passed happy there. Catgo. Tammy, are you drinking so early in the day, Tammy? I don't know what that means. Catgo pun. I know it's a typo. Anyway, Donald's is more purple than red. Your lights are. Do you have the purple plates? Because I know the purple plates are something also, the Tesla purple plates they have, and people have really liked them. And one thing people like too are those darn Rife machines. When I did a video on them, I mean, I had so many people that left comments that the Rife machines were very effective. They just said it was healing and showed the pattern of the curl in the hair. But I never say red lights being sold in beauty supply places. Oh, showed the pattern of the curl in the hair. Weird. There were red lights on an adjustable pole. Huh. Okay. Well, as you can tell, guys, Patricia, I don't go to the hairdresser too often. I never did. I was always kind of more au naturel, you know. I bet your way back then in the hairlines, they were pretty effective. Probably. Yeah, can you imagine? People growing hair. Oh, my hair looks so great when I come out of the hairdresser. Oh, you never saw them. There was no Sally's back then, yeah. Huh, now on the red light is coming back. And like I said, I do think they are effective. I know. Mark, did you see Mark with his little emojis there? He's got the monkey with the bomb exploding himself. There was a game that did that. I forget what that game was, but remember, picture something, and you draw pictures of a phrase. I typed it on the regular Amazon link, not the Prime business. That may be a difference. Oh, okay. Well, I don't know, but we've got those. Let's see. None of those came up. Did you look at those ones on the link, Mark? I typed it. Spirit, have you heard of Jared Rand? The name has come around this week, but I don't know who he is. He requests money claiming he has replicators being built, but he does not show himself, and very odd. Shows like, yeah, like Sky for years saying that any second now. Yeah, no, never heard of that. For some reason, isn't that odd? I don't know whether it's some kind of intuition thing bringing me there, but I want to say that it was one of those things where I popped in, I heard the name, I popped in. Maybe it was a post on X because I do a lot of research there. I don't know. It might have even come through but no, I haven't been talking about replicators. I don't know. I heard the name, I popped in, and it didn't seem legit. And when it doesn't seem legit, I pulled back from them and I don't waste my time. Coming billions to the people. Okay. Oh, billions of the replicators? Is that what he's saying? I had something else I was going to. The police. I know. The police should go after him. You're right. Boy, I'm getting good at this, am I? People really came in for lamp cuts all the time, but wondered why all the places I never worked at them. Lamp cuts. I remember bowl cuts, like Mo. Do you have a link for that, Tahoe? I don't know what that's about. Do you have a link for the flying cars? Okay, let me tell you this. Since Mark is bringing me, he's always leading me. You sure you're not Dan in Mark's clothings? All right. So I had this one on the list, guys. I got a couple on the list. We'll come back to these and then I'll go to the comments again. Where did I put that? Oh, here we go. So I had a lot of them. Got a ghost thing happening too. Just had it. Hang on. There we go. I think this, yeah. Florida DOT secretary stated that what you saw in the Jetsons is becoming a reality at a press conference this week. They said that the state is preparing to enter a new era as flying cars are expected to begin testing in Florida's airspace by the end of this year. Florida transportation officials announced a company named SunTrax facility in Polk County, which, guys, Polk County, if you know Florida, is like, it has one city that's kind of larger, but it's pretty much out in the boonies, which it makes sense. Anyway, so they have this SunTrax facility in Polk County that eVTOL aircraft testing will begin in the state airspace by the end of 2026 with vertiports for vertical takeoff and landing, just like a helicopter. And we're going to be using them for taxis and deliveries and stuff at first, because I did some poking around on it, and they're not yet planned to be private ownership cars. That, of course, will come along the way. Right now, they're testing them, and I guess there's some kind of stuff they might have to go through. And it said the planned vertiports and infrastructure support commercial-style operations at airports and other hubs at this point. Testing involves private companies developing and certifying aircraft for these services. So they're actually going to be certified as aircraft. Commercial passenger service is still years away, even after initial testing. So it's not Jetson time here yet, as full certification and operational readiness take time. Private ownership at personal flying cars is not the current focus of the state program. Now, there can be some other private commercial. That's why we live in the USA. There can be, commercial enterprises that do it. Some smaller two-seat or ultralight style eVTOLs from companies testing or selling elsewhere exist or are in development for individual use. These may require a pilot's license, cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, and face stricter aviation rules than cars. Broader private ownership at scale remains further off due to the cost, the regulation, airspace management, and infrastructure. One earlier Florida report put it directly, not for personal use yet, but possibly for commercial passengers. In short, the new term, New Era Florida, is preparing for is commercial air taxi style service and supporting uses with personal private vehicles, a longer term possibility outside the core state backed. So this is a state backed push in Florida. Okay, that's them. And then hi Shelly. This guy named Jonathan Otto on YouTube that deal with red lights. Can't remember what kind of doctor he is, thinks he's a chiropractor. A lot of chiropractors use them for sure. Polk County has lots of orange groves, like in Davenport, or lived in Davenport. Had hot air balloons every morning from the groves. Well, they were always so expensive. I can't imagine what they are now. Billions of cash Jared Rand claims, saying we all have massive trust funds. Okay, that's the next thing that I'm getting to. We don't have them yet, okay? And what's happening is similar to Dave Straight, that's suspicious. Yeah, we don't have them with him, let's put it that way for sure. But I do have something else here to show you. I don't know how many of you, I'm going to switch screens here. I don't know how many of you, probably a lot of you guys, are familiar with the U.S. debt clock. Are you guys? All right, so this shows how much we're in debt. Can you freaking believe this? 39 million and all this stuff. But there's a couple little things. First, well, let me bring you here first. There's always this secret window up here. You see this? So you open the secret window. Oh, okay. I already had the secret window open. And this is what we see. Asset-backed dividend dollars, 100% reserve. What that's saying is that the amazing new mobile app, I don't know about that, what that means, but maybe there'll be an app for this. I don't know. But what they're doing is they're talking about that here. Universal high income with 0% income tax, 0% property tax. Ownership is restored. And then here we have the debt clock itself crossing out the national debt and putting the federal spending at this particular number, which seems so odd, and the debt per person right here. The debt to the G, I don't know anything about all those, but I'm going to read you an interpretation of this guy, of this. Then there's the, on the bottom, in 2030, notice this, in 2030, so that gives us a little clue. The U.S. Treasury dollar, so it might be 2030. We got to wait 4 more years before gold becomes valuable, I guess. And that also crosses out all national debt here. And the spending is less for some reason. So I did a analysis on this through one of the AIs. And let me see if I can find that for you to explain that. Okay, so here it goes. So the asset-backed dividend dollar, it represents a currency that's backed by tangible assets or national wealth, which is often linked historically to like gold, silver, public assets, paired with a citizen dividend structure. Okay? So remember, when people talk about this stuff, they're not pulling it out of their backside, okay? They are finding this online. All right, the universal high income and tax reform, replacing traditional income and property taxes with a universal high income model funded through alternative asset structures. And we've talked about this before. There already are. Trump set up alternative asset structures, or actually sovereign funds, in the past. And these, there was just somebody that got busted and all of their assets were seized, and it said that it was going into the fund. So all of these things that they're stealing from all of these people that have stolen from us for so long is going to be redistributed to us. The one with the ownership restored and Abe Lincoln, it says that means that we're going to return to financial sovereignty, meaning the Fed is not sovereign over us anymore, and control of the economy back to individual citizens rather than the central banking institutions. Okay, and then the debt clock image, the debt clock image, the red cross-out striking through the current metrics. The red slash marks running through the top lines represent the rejection or cancellation of the current fiat monetary system's numbers. So this all might have to do with the currency reset and all of that, specifically signaling that the traditional ballooning figures for the U.S. national debt, federal spending, and the GDP under the Federal Reserve note are broken and unsustainable. The new projected alternative shifts, The figures placed over or alongside of the crossed out data points represent a reset scenario. These numbers represent a restructuring, just like we talked about a restructuring, where debt is wiped clean, currency is repegged to hard assets like gold and silver is what we're expecting, at least gold, and the financial metrics are recalculated under a completely different monetary framework. Completely different framework. Bye-bye, Fed. They're leaving. Okay, then the timeline shift of 2030 versus 2034. I didn't see that 2034 in there. Did you guys? Oh, yeah. There's 2034 up here and 2030 down here. Okay, so it says the timeline shifts. It says showing two different blocks, one labeled 2030 and the other 2034, illustrates a timeline transition or milestones for transitioning in the proposed monetary reset. So we got a little clue there. The summary, the graphic is contrasting two different futures. It argues that if the U.S. stays on the current path, things get worse by 2030. But if the country completely overhauls the monetary system to back currency with hard assets and eliminate traditional taxes in the 2034 scenario, the national debt gets cut in half, the government runs a surplus, and the individual wealth is restored. So in case you're wondering, this U.S. Debt Clock org is an anonymous person. It's a real, very wealthy man. I have never been able to find out who the person that runs it is, but there years and years and years ago, there used to be a debt clock in Times Square. I think he's in New York, whoever runs this or owns it. But there used to be this debt clock. It wasn't as comprehensive as this, but I believe they're connected just from what I've seen in all of this. And they also actually have, I don't see where it's at, but if you poke around on it, they have a place where you can get a free download of a book that talks all about this. Let's see, mortgage loan calculator. There's a mortgage loan calculator. There is the gold supply demand calculator. So this, you can calculate here your gold demand in ounces, total gold demand versus the supply, and so forth. And then home sales, I mean, it's a great little thing. New home median prices, historically, it goes from 2010 to 2024, existing home sales, annual rates, and so forth. It's a great resource, guys. Sources, it doesn't show us sources. Okay. Auto sales, U.S. light vehicle, top brand. So is this prices? Is this? Yeah, I guess it is. Must be average prices or something for a new one. Isn't that something? No, that can't be GMAC. No, U.S. light vehicle unit. Oh, this is the number of sales by the type of car. Let's see what the most popular one is. Honda? Is Honda the big? No. Toyota and Ford, neck and neck. And Chevy. And Buick is up there too. Oh, no, they're not even close. No. The millions, that's only Chevy, Ford, and Toyota. Huh, isn't that something? And these are alphabetical. That's kind of cool. I never looked at that one before. All right, and then there's about, and this talks about the U.S. debt clock right here. And there's actually, thank you for great suggestions and continued support. So there's an email address. Maybe you can find out who it is. I never tried. The purpose of it's to inform the public of the financial condition of the United States of America. They're dedicated to bringing to the public the most accurate, up-to-date debt information. The numbers are laid out in such a way to give a complete real-time snapshot of the country's balance sheet. Although the numbers, see, somebody has to be connected, guys, to be doing this. Remember to bookmark the site, blah, blah, blah. All right, that was the about energy output. And look at this. This is energy consumption of the various energies, the world energy production. Look at who's the big boy in that one. China. United States is not the best energy. China and India. But, In all fairness, don't they have a lot more people than we do too? So I can get that. Gold, precious metals. This is the world precious metals production, production change, and precious metal reserves. Who's got the big reserves? Well, France has got themselves a nice chunk, don't they? Look at that. They got a nice chunk of those gold reserves. Well, the Vatican isn't on there. I wonder what they have. Oh, wait, those, no, oh, wait, those, no, that's lithium. Gold, the United States has 286. Not quite. Gold holding by country. Oh, so we're holding the most. I'm sorry. We're holding the most gold by country in ounces. That's how much the U.S. has. So that's a cool thing. It's because we're taking everybody's gold and seizing it for all these pervs. And I guess you can advertise on there. Isn't that a cool thing? Front page ad. Okay, and it's on X, U.S. debt clock. You have to subscribe to it, though, it looks like, unless I'm already following it, but it never comes up. So they have all, these are the special secret button here. You can go through those. It's really, really a cool asset, guys, to have if you want to keep abreast of things. Let's see. Mighty spit. Okay, so let's see where we're going. Let me get through my thing real quick. Hold on, because I had some quickies here. Oh, nothing's ever quick with me, is it? Okay, so we talked about the vaccines, right? The Democratic Party is crumbling. Did you guys hear that George Soros cut off his funding to the DNC? Now, he didn't cut off all funding by his PACs and stuff, not by, to PACs and stuff. He's still giving money to different things, but the Wall Street Journal said that from early August 2026, Soros and his son Alex gave nothing directly to the DNC this midterm cycle, unlike $400K in 2018 and over $1 million in 2022 as part of a wider donor strike over party. So is he running out of money? Don't know, but I'm just glad. Now, also, I look through, and it's kind of odd, guys, but I always try and look and see, just what the general, where we are in the awakening. Well, I went on, so I go on and I look at trending terms, right? Let me get this. This is a good one. Listen to the terms that were trending, which I've never seen trend before. Pure evil is one term. Demons is another term. Demonic. And it was trending, guess where? In politics. They were all pure evil, demons, and demonic were all trending under politics. So when I asked Grok to determine or define demons, this is what Grok said. And I did this for another one. I did this for my Mother Teresa video, which I am working on, guys. I got some news on that one too. But anyway, Grok answered, demons embody fixed, irreversible evil. Irreversible. That's why these guys, that's why some of these people have to be neutralized permanently, because the evil that they have is irreversible. Pure pride that spits at God, venomous envy of human salvation, ceaseless deceit, and a hunger to destroy. I bet you each of us can think of 10 names right now that fit that definition of a demon. Unrepentant humans take these on. The noose darkens into a bestial rage or demonic malice. They burn with serpent-like wrath that seeks to kill, insatiable lust that defiles without limit, greed that consumes all, and a will that freely chooses the eternal fire prepared for demons gnashing in hatred forever. Most of them referred to all of these terms here. When I looked at what they were doing, most of them referred to the post about the abortion that's going on with the life-term babies that was just passed up. Was it Michigan? Massachusetts. So all of those terms. So people are against it. But the thing is, they're using the right technology. Demons. Tell me, I want you guys to tell me, now that you heard that, drop down, and I'm going to tell you who mine is if I get enough of them. I'm going to tell you who I think fits the word demon more than anybody I've ever seen in my life. Let me see if there's anything extra here to go to. Yeah, we did all that, did that. Oh, did you hear? On August 11th, the ex-president of Syria was convicted and sentenced to death in his absence. So he had already fled, right? But he was convicted of premeditated murder, torture, arbitrary arrests, and crimes against humanity, along with his brother and his cousin. His cousin was tried in person. The other two were apparently absentia. So the ex-president's name was Bashar al-Assad. Bashar, I forget how you say that. Anyway, he fled to Russia. So whether he's going to get deported or not, who knows? But personally, I think Putin is part of this whole movie, a willing participant, an anxious and willing participant. So basically, it's been a civil war where he is estimated to have killed 500,000 people. Now let's combine this with what we're seeing also. Protests began, and first what he did is he pulled out tanks, troops, and snipers against the protesters. Now, when they say Trump is bad on these or ICE is bad, I sit there and I say, how do these men hold themselves? How do they keep that gun in their holster sometimes? That's pure training. I'll tell you, it's pure training to put up with that kind of abuse. But anyway, so this Bashar guy, he of Syria, he deployed troops on tanks and troops and snipers. Then electricity, water, and phone lines were cut. House-to-house raids were done, and anybody moving outdoors risked being shot. People were being shot on the street. And that was done in Iran recently, too, if you remember. Mass arbitrary arrests swept up thousands of civilians, including children and women. Detainees faced widespread beatings, electroshocks, and other forms of torture in intelligence facilities. So crimes against humanities are starting to happen, guys. Ghost. We still got Mark here with his little ghost. Is this what you're talking about? Rocket Labs introduced Ghost, a containerized deployable launch system for rockets that packs the full infrastructure, rockets, and ground support and range control into a standard shipping container for electron, orbital, and HASTE hypersonic launches. So you got a big trailer now that can drive around town launching rockets, and that is Rocket Labs, and it's called Ghost. That's the technology. Global, hypersonic, and orbital spaceport technology. Got that? Hypersonic and spaceport technology is now driving around in trucks. Is that the ghost you were talking about, if he's still here, Mark? Let's see what else I got here. Mitch McConnell's team announced that he will be working from home. What a shock that is, huh? I wonder if he's one of the ones that said federal employees shouldn't be allowed to work from home. Yesterday, here's another one. Samuel Alito is staying another term. That's roughly 9 to 10 months of work, but he's staying for another year. So he just said he's going to stay through 2026 to 2027. The man's 86 years old, I think. So, I could see him leaving, but he's our only hope, these ones that are good guys. And then last but not least, let me show you this guy's picture, just so you know. Hold on. Okay, guys, this guy right here? Here we go. It's the last one? Oh, came right up top. All right. So this guy, Ted Lieu, right, Democratic senator, he dropped a post, really bad accusations about President Trump hurting children. And Trump went back hard at him. He said, people call me names, whatever. That's their free speech. But the second you claim I did things to children, you're done. You're going to pay. His legal team is slamming a $100 million defamation suit on Senator Lieu this week in the D.C. federal court. Trump said, no more warnings, no more free passes. Trump's message to the haters is clear. There's a line that you don't cross. And these sickos just found out what happens when you cross it. FAFO. So that is the notes that I had. Let me get back to you guys here. Where are you guys? Where are you guys? Oh, I didn't want to do that. Don't want to do that. Hold on. I'm going to do this. Okay. All right. Let's see where we are. Yeah, the orange rose, we talked about that. Guy named Jonathan Otto is selling with red lights. Can't remember what kind of doctor he is. He's not a doctor. Mark knows him. Oh, I thought he was Mark. Okay, so you guys were taking care of business here. And so he's just a guy selling them. I'm waiting for the George Jetson model. I know. I loved that, Donald. As a child, isn't that weird? But as a child, I didn't care anything about the cartoons, and this is very young. I didn't care about any other cartoon, the Scooby-Doo, all that stuff. All I cared about was the Jetsons. I just wanted to be living in the Jetsons. So maybe I will. I don't know. Yeah, they were really cool, but that's not going to happen quick enough. But the med beds will come out before that, and then we'll all live long enough to see these cars. They have tested them in China and have tested them for years now. They even have the small one-seater models that are being tested. Good. Well, we'll see. And Florida isn't the only one. Once one gets it, it comes along. It's got to be an FAA thing, you know, I guess is involved, which, of course, they must be. But no, Tahoe. In the long term, it's not just going to be the newborn accounts. We all will have sovereign accounts. And we'll also have an income, is what we've been told. And it goes into so many different things to compensate us for how they screwed us for so long. The banks, everybody. There was even talk at one time about if you've had home foreclosures, that you're entitled to money back because what was done was not right. So there's all kinds of money that's supposed to come. They call it the windfall. The quantum financial system, when the banks fall, there will be not debt period for the country or us. Yes, we'll be out of debt unless we put ourselves yet back. I think it's like a reset we get, you know. Jonathan Otto sounds familiar. I think the Truth About Cancer guest years ago. No debt, all wiped out. Exactly. Tahoe, I saw him on Mark's podcast. I watch when he has the mushroom ladies on. I don't know who these people are. The mushroom ladies. And I guess they grow and sell mushrooms. And saw Jonathan Otten on there talking about red light therapy. Okay. Okay. Oh, we got some names here. Okay, let's see. Pictionary. Yes, I am my hairdresser and cutter. Me too. You have a mohawk. Get out of here, Tammy. Do you? With hair to my knees. I got to see that. I don't drink. I live as a sober life, cannabis only. Gosh, you guys are so much like me. I do drink, but not excessively. I mean, I like a mojito here and there. I like a chocolate martini, you know, but I use everything in a medicinal manner. Let's put it that way. Alcohol is a medicine as well. It can be used medicinally to calm you down. The problem with everything is excess, guys. I have the happy theme song in my head, this whole happy. That's what's supposed to happen when you guys, they're supposed to zero out all debt. I don't know if it's all debt. And again, I never do superlatives. What I heard is mortgage cancellations will occur on your primary residence, not everyone. If you have 15 homes, I don't think they're going to cancel the mortgage on everything. But I heard that. I heard no taxes on real estate. I heard no taxes on income. I heard money back for foreclosures. I heard money back for the birth certificate. Because that I don't have mine with me, obviously. Just they're bonds. Birth certificates are say on there somewhere that there's some kind of commodity of some sort. Yes, they are going. Not all existing mortgages. I didn't hear that one. If RV lots were not 18 a month, I would consider this route. I wouldn't go into debt if you can't afford something. But if you don't already own, here's the thing that I believe is going to happen, Tahoe, is that everything must be equitable. You can't, somebody that really just, is down on their luck and has lost their home or never was able to get one or whatever, they're not going to be left out because they never had a home foreclosed. There's going to be lots and lots and lots of prosperity, is my understanding. It's not going to be, it's a system. Remember, we're breaking down the slave debt control system. That first has to be dismantled. And then there's going to be a system of prosperity built. And it's going to affect everybody that is left still. And I don't have all the answers. And I'm sure there will still be criminals and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't expect a utopia. I expect life as we know it, only happier and easier without being raped every day by the system. So that's what I'm saying. I think we will go and we'll commune, and the planetary vibration will be higher and people will be happier. It's just all going to flow. It's almost like it's got to. If the vibration is higher, prosperity will follow. And can you imagine globally when that happens? It's going to be great. Let's see. Okay. Sovereign Wealth Fund. Yes, Dan, you got it. The quantum financial system, when the banks failed, we did that. Jonathan Otto, I don't know anything about him. Tahoe, I saw him on Marks. Okay, we did those. Cool, Shelley. Yeah, you're talking about that dude with the jet black hair, and he's all about the red light therapy. Real expensive. I saw him in Nino's Corner a couple times. You guys, I had a perp one time that we were doing a case, and I swear to God, the guy was really old. And not really old. He was in his 60s. I say really old. I'm really old now. But the guy was in his 60s, and he used to use, we called it shoe polish. When you got a war room full of agents that have been up all night long, you get a little punchy sometimes, And his hair had no sheen whatsoever, and it looked like he just took black shoe polish. And that's what you just reminded me of. We made memes and stuff back then. Even back then, it wasn't memes. It was funny pictures, though. The quantum shift will definitely scare a lot of the normies because they won't know what hit them. I think they'll be happy. I think they'll be happy. And that was one thing I was going to show you. Let me show you this while we've got that. I hate pulling away because I want to get through all your things and I lose them. But let me just show you something that I saw, just a part of it. Hopefully it won't get me a strike, as they all do. Hold on one sec. Oh, I got to bring that down for a second. And this is what we're beginning to see, and it's really a good thing. Where was that? Nope. All right there. Let me bring it over here. And that's on my thing. Okay, here you go. Now this is somebody else's. I'm just going to play a little bit of it for you.
America, I'm so sorry. I apologize. I take full responsibility. I am partly responsible for what's happening in America, for what's happening in Dearborn, Michigan, for what's happening in New York City. We left Iran. We left the Islamic Republic for exactly this reason, because radical terrorists Muslims took over the country and are literally killing, raping, torturing, and executing innocent people right now as we speak for the past 47 years. And I thought by voting Democrat, liberals, every single year, every single time there was an election, that meant we are going to make America, keep America great. We're going to definitely not negotiate with terrorism. That's exactly what the left media made me believe. And I'm here to say, I apologize. I was brainwashed this whole time. It took me over 20 years to realize that Democrats and liberals are the reason this country is the way it is. They're the ones that are okay with the American flag being burned in New York City, that the American flag is okay to be burned. It's part of democracy. It's the most anti-American thing to do. And in wishing death upon America is the most anti-American thing you can do. It has nothing to do with democracy. And I'm here to apologize and let my husband know that he was right. He was rara. Gotta let my husband know that he was rara. I don't know why it's so hard to say this. I am here to announce that my husband was rara. It's very painful. I'm here to announce that my husband was right. Oh, that took everything I had. That he was right about everything. That Republicans are the ones that are gonna help make America great again. I also believed that make America great again meant make America white again. That's because the left media wanted me to believe that. I am here to announce I'm sorry. And I will be part of the group that will make America great again. And I will proudly vote Republican from now on. God bless. And again, I apologize for everything I've done.
There's a lot going on here, but one thing I found interesting.
That's the awakening, guys. Hold on. Okay. That is the awakening, guys. We're seeing people waking up. And, you know, it doesn't anger me. I'm not angry at that woman. And we have to let them know, the normies that you brought up, that we understand all of us were brainwashed at some point in our life. I mean, this has been going on 70 years, guys. I don't think there's one person here that can say they've never been brainwashed by this system. I don't think that's possible. So we understand that. We welcome them. We're so happy. And we want to be there. And I've always said that. People, when you're awake, people are going to start coming to you. And I don't need an apology from anybody. That girl a lot. I mean, that's what connection is unstable, guys. Am I there, guys? It said it was unstable, but it looks like I'm back. I just seen a video of one person drone called Lyft. Boy, I don't know about that, Donald. What's going to happen with that? We're going to have people flying drones? A one-person drone. I'm going to look that one up because that's wild. And I've got a video coming out on Mother Teresa. That might be the next one, like we talked about last week. I did a lot of research and found more than I'm sure most of you have seen. Lyft, huh? Oopsie. Okay. It's a drone, one-person drone. I'm going to put that. I don't know how I missed that one, but I did. All right, so we already talked about that. RV lots are 1,800. Oh, I see. I would consider this route. Oh, I see. I see what you're saying. That's what's supposed to happen when you guys. That's supposed to happen, you guys, when they're supposed to zero out all debt, yep, loan credit, everything. We're supposed to start out with a positive balance, zero credit system. And there's going to be a new, there's going to be a new credit system. So if you had bad credit before, your credit is going to, you're going to get a new start on it. Tammy, driving around Omaha to get errands done and go home. So you're in Nebraska. You didn't rent your place. Tammy, you're not in Nebraska. See, I don't know. I remember she got the mohawk. Boy, it's so funny. You always picture people a certain way. I'm sure you guys were shocked when you saw me. All right. So I asked you to put names. Let's see who we have. Spirit. Do you think Hillary at Gitmo or still protected? Well, Pictionary, that's the one. I think she's gone. I don't think she's at Gitmo. I think she's gone. But I could be wrong, but, you know, if I had to guess, I think she's gone. And here's why. Tahoe. You have to understand, when I asked that question, let me see if anybody answered it. Yes, Patricia, Hillary. Yeah, okay. Well, Spirit, that demon stuff is really going to be removed, and that's great. Hillary, Fauci, two demons. I think both Fauci. Yep. Okay, so you guys are basically I bumped off of it. This thing is squirrely. It bumps around. But that was since a few of you put that. Yeah, here we go. I think both Fauci, Hillary are dealt with, just being public to the normies. You know, that profile of Fauci sure looks like somebody else, doesn't it? But Hillary, that's the one. When I said the first thing that comes to mind is Hillary. And when we talk about demons, and that is because I do believe that there's a possession of the person that was originally her. It wasn't just a nasty lady, okay? It was a true demonic possession of this person. And those people, like we read about that, they just can't be held on this earth. And here's why. These people that are possessed demonically, this is an energetic thing, guys, right? It's not, they know the powers of the higher densities. Remember, a density is different from a frequency. The higher frequencies are those of love, gratitude, hope, and all that stuff. The lower frequencies are hate, anger, and all that stuff. But the densities, that is how much of our brain we're actually using. Are we using only the 10%? Are we using 80%? Whatever. So in order to possess somebody, the possessing entity has a command over power that most people don't. And that's why I believe that people that are true demons like that, like Hillary and perhaps Fauci, which I believe he was also, I don't know if he was possessed. I don't know if he was possessed. And I say this because of things I found on the research for the Mother Teresa video that we're doing. But Hillary has a command of energy that we can't control, to my knowledge, yet. And people like that had to be eliminated as ASAP, in my opinion. That is why they would have to be. What is that bubble? Snow globe, Mark. I think both are dealt with. Fauci is a different thing. And I'll tell you why. I don't know if he was demonically possessed or just had absolutely zero integrity, compassion. It's a different thing. Hillary, I believe, is a demonic possession. But I don't know if Fauci is a demonic possession or just a really bad person. But in any event, I think he's gone. The nose picture that you've seen, I don't know if you guys have seen the profile, but there's clearly, the guy didn't have a nose job, and there's a ski lope nose and another one on the profile. So he could be an imposter. I think both are dealt with just yeah, okay. Let's see, Tahoe, come on, get happy. Oh, is that the one? Whole lot of, I remember that one. I can't believe I'm doing this. Now you guys are seeing what a goof I am, huh? You know, I'm all about being like as childlike as possible. That is the one reason, not the only, but the major reason I married Timmy, because of his childlike nature. And I want that person that isn't tainted yet, isn't angry, doesn't hate yet. I want that that childlike beauty. And I want to be a person like that. And I always believed that if we surrounded ourselves with that, that's what we become. So I want to be that person that's not tainted. And I chose a husband that way. Fauci and Hillary have a headstone. Yep, Mark, I believe you're right. They wouldn't let them walk the earth up to this point. Never. Yeah, that's my feelings. Exactly. We couldn't. It would be hard to win the war, wouldn't it? Everybody loved the Jetsons. Me too. We're going to be blessed. Tahoe took something off. The best is yet to come, says Trump. Trump's not the only one that says that. I believe Q also said it somewhere. I'm not sure where. I haven't looked it up recently. We're getting taxes and interest too. Credit card debt. Yes, credit card debt. That was another thing. One of my credit cards just we closed it. And I didn't know this. They just raised it to almost 40%. I think it was 39%. And Tim caught that. And I mean, that was a lot because we were only paying 20 something. So Trump says lower it to 10%. And what do? They raise it 10%. Demon. That's these banking establishments. That's bad, bad, bad. But anyway, we canceled it. And I did some research, and what I found out is when they do that to you, if you don't call and cancel that card, then all of your old debt will have the new rate applied. But if you cancel it and say no, they can't apply the new rate to your old debt, but they will cut off any unused money that you have, any unused balance. So let's say you have $5,000 on it and you have a $7,000 balance. They'll take that $2,000 away and they'll close the card, but they can't put the 40% rate on what you've been paying 30% on. But that's only if you cancel it. David Straight shared where your input, you're sick. Darn, Social Security number. It showed. Yeah. I looked that up too. Tahoe, where you put your Social Security number, it showed it's still being traded on the markets. I saw that too. I'd love to find that. I'm glad you put that name. We'll look him up and see if we can find anything. David Straight. It takes a village to figure all this out, doesn't it? And that was the Social Security number for our bonds. Okay, I'll look that up and have a link for you guys. I'm thrilled to hear this. You must be one kind of character, Mark. Are you a comedian in real life or what? Patricia Crosby, Tahoe. Are you referring to Professor David Straight? They say he died. Much like the med bed, your frequency will determine the wealth you can be trusted with. That's an excellent point. I hadn't heard that, Dan, but it makes sense, doesn't it? It makes sense. But then, by the same token, why shouldn't everybody be given an opportunity? And then if you screw up, you screw up, So, I don't know. I hadn't heard that one before. She was so funny apologizing to her. I know. Trying to say she was. I'm sorry. I will have to say to my husband, I was. I know. I loved it. It was cute in the end. Patricia David Straight. Did he really die of cancer, or they were angry he was saying something? I lost it. So, I had another one that was part of The Secret. Remember that guy? I was watching it last night. What the heck was his name? He was a compelling speaker on The Secret, and he had a couple people die in a sweat lodge. Remember that? Well, he's died. I didn't know that, but he died a few years back. He was trying to come back. He was basically, everything he did was copying Tony Robbins. But he went to jail, actually, for these deaths that happened in this sweat lodge. I forget his name. I just saw it, too. Were they angry he was telling truth, got him out? His wife, Bonnie, arrested for helping people get their kids back from COS. COS, Child Services, I would assume. Well, that happens like with Michael Jackson, with all of them, with Donald Trump is the prime person that the deep state will discredit you in every possible way. That's just the game plan. And it's become so obvious to the ones of us that are awake now that that the more they try and shut somebody up, the more I follow that person and believe in their validity. I was going to tell you, see my beautiful colored flowers today? I had watched my neighbor's plants and watered her plants while she was gone, and she brought them. Aren't they beautiful? I thought they were gorgeous. Yeah, so I don't know. I'll check out this David Straight guy, because what you're saying is he was the one that had that thing. So he was an Anon. It sounds like he was a QAnon. You're back. Okay. CPS. Yeah, CPS. David Straight held seminars all over talking about how much money we are worth, explaining how to pay for your bills with your money that he supposedly ends up dead. That's odd. That is odd. I just never believe in until something. What is that saying? Don't count your chickens until they're hatched. You know, yes, we made investments, but I have invested in metals for decades now. So when I started seeing what was going on and all that, that's about all I did to secure us. And it wasn't where I put a second mortgage on my house to buy it or anything. You know what I'm saying? Don't go in debt on these things because, like we just saw on that U.S. debt clock, right? They're talking could be 3034 before the reset occurs. And we go to gold back. So we could be sitting a long time on that. And if you sold something important that you needed, you might not get it back that quick. Although what I can say, at least at the rate that I bought it, I can't lose on what I bought. I managed to get it, oh gosh, a couple years ago. And I'm shocked already at how much gold and silver have increased. I hoped it would go this high, and I hope it goes higher, but I was glad to see that. And it was more validation that we are going to a gold-backed currency, in my opinion. He was taken into protective custody. That could be. That certainly could be. If he had, now that could be just a site that you find. I mean, that, if he put that website up with those, and created it, and because to put a database up like that it takes resources and money to put something just like it does on that debt clock site. Whoever did that has money, okay, that put together that software and hired the experts that have that thing running constantly, and it's almost always up. I've never seen it down, really. So if he created that Social Security bonds database, it tells you how much your Social Security, your birth certificate is worth, then he's somebody. I think he's got some influence. He was taken into protective custody, blah, 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 blah. I think there are more protected and alive. We're seeing a lot of them drop off, aren't we? I think there are too. Gates and Fauci. So you thought Gates and Fauci, huh? How about Hillary? Gates, Gates may be a possession too, Tammy. You might be right there. I hadn't thought of him, but that guy, the things that he is doing is completely immoral. He has no business in healthcare. And see, I think Fauci is more of a narcissist and the money, whereas Gates is more of the puppet master and, contriving all of this stuff. There was just something I saw, we talking about it the other day, Sprouts, which was a great store, health food store. I used to love them for healthy food. They're selling the dang fake meat now at Sprouts. And but there's a lot of asleep vegetarians that will buy that. That's the thing. And I guess they go to Sprouts. So always the money, where the money goes. But Gates, he's more of a demon. Fauci, I think, is more of a whore. Let's put it that way. Without a conscience, if that makes any sense. Chelsea is a victim. I saw that pop up. Let me see. Q said those you think are alive are dead and those dead are alive. Yep. I know. I didn't see where it said that. I never saw that post particularly, but it wouldn't surprise me. That's what Anons always said. QAnons said that for sure. I don't know if Q themselves said it. What about Chelsea Clinton? Heard she was not even Bill's daughter. That wouldn't surprise me. She looks like Hillary, poor thing, but she was born into this. That's the difference. And you could be possessed being born into this. The parents give up their children for this crap, right? But I feel I have compassion for the ones that were bought into this and turned dark. I don't know what you do with them. I don't know if they can be. I think there has to be some parameter there that if they are energetically possessed, they must be eliminated. we can't take a chance with humanity. So it just depends, you know, on those people. Uh, Gosh, Bill spread his seed around everywhere, but Hillary, I guess. And there's, you know, all of the things about her being gay, and you know, without validation, guys, I just put them away in the filing cabinet back there. And then when something comes up, I say, oh, let me pull that one back out again and let's see if it fits. You cannot wait for this cool truth to be revealed, Patricia. Yeah, I know. We all want it. But that clock could be saying it's 2034. So we got to ride this wave of watching it. And boy, it's a long trip, guys. It's a long journey. But I can understand why it's a long journey if it is going to take that long. And that's not everything. That could be when the bank switches. That's the only thing. That doesn't mean to me that 3034 doesn't mean that the med beds will be that long at all. That tells me that the financial system, at least at that point, I don't know whether it could turn over sooner, because remember, it's 2020, 30, it was at this, and then it could be right after 2030 that we eliminate the Fed and move into it. I wish it were sooner, but and move into it, and by 3034, massive prosperity and all of these initiatives occur. Don't know. But you know, the thing is, guys, I'm so close. I'm so close, and all of you guys are too. We've just got to make it to the finish line here. Tahoe, I love you too, sweetheart. More than you know. Always, you know, guys, just tell me. I just work very intuitively. So I never want to, some of these personal things that we talk about, if they're private, just let me know. And I'm happy to communicate with you. I don't want to put my email address out there, you know, for anybody to spam. When you do that, it's really bad and stuff. Oh, happy. Thank you. I love you too. I really do love you guys. And, you know, I love all mankind. I'm connected deeply with you guys. Let's put it that way. And especially on this live stream has helped me do that. Connect on a much more intimate level with you guys. And I'm getting to know a little bit more than I can of just a comment here and there. Does Shift have a monitor on his ankle? Don't know. We saw that a while back, how they all had monitors and everybody was wearing. That was years ago. And wouldn't surprise me, but Shifty Schiff, Adam Schiff. I mean, let me make sure I have the right one here. I think he's the bug-eyed one, right? Yeah, he's the bug eyes. Okay. Yeah. The Shift. Here, let me show you guys. This is all I ever think about with this guy. I'm going to show you for a second. Is that like, I look at that and I go, oh my goodness, that guy's insane. Look at those eyes. He's so insane. That's Shifty Shift. Does he have an ankle monitor? You know, I almost think that he could be around, because I don't think he's dangerous enough to really be a harm on a major scale. I think he could. I don't even know if he'd be given a legacy deal, to be honest with you. I don't think he'll be given a legacy deal. He could be an example of an arrest and try. Let's see. We are blessed. I know we all are. He was telling people about that 15 years ago. 15 years ago? Really? Really? Well, that was before Q even came about 15 years ago. Huh. I got a serious question. Okay. Can it cause kidney issues if a doctor puts someone on both losartan? Well, the furosemide, what that does is, the way that it works should not, if anything, it's out of overwork. But the losartan, let me see. The losartan does come up as kidney damage. So high potassium levels Let's see. So if you've got, so it's rare but serious, including high potassium levels. Now, here's the thing. So from a standpoint, if he puts you on both of those drugs, that is a rational choice in the allopathic world. Okay. In the allopathic world, that is a rational choice because the furosemide wastes potassium and the losartan spares potassium. So the that is a rational choice that it does take it out. It can happen, but if you are going to take it, then you should be on for furosemide with a losartan. So Shelley, I take it you have high blood pressure, it sounds like. Have you tried the meditation? Have you tried the frequencies, the healing frequencies, 528? Have you tried green tea, massive green teas? I have one that we use that's by Sunrider that has its own diuretics in it. But now the losartan, if I'm not mistaken, let me just check the mechanism of action. There's only a couple, but I want to make sure I get it right. It's an angiotensin receptor for tightening. Yeah. All right. So here's what happens, guys. There's a couple ways that we lower the blood pressure. I used to always love this talk, right? You have a tube. Imagine, oh, I happen to have one. My protection flute. This was one of my weapons in martial arts. We did a form with this and stuff, and it was a flute, but it was actually a metal bar. All right. So anyway, think of this as your artery. Let me get rid of the hole so it doesn't distract us. Think of this as a vessel, a blood vessel, right? You've got so much of this water coming through it. Well, when the heart is on the other end and it's supposed to pump it out, right? But instead, the heart's like taking a break or it's weak or whatever, and it's not pumping it out. So this is backing up. More keeps getting pumped into here and none is coming out this end over here. It's kind of hard. So it's getting pumped in here, not coming out here. There's two ways to fix that. And that is increase the removal of fluid through the kidneys, which is the Lasix. That's a diuretic. The other one is to get this thing here, to get bigger, a bigger one, okay? Vasodilation, we call it. What happens is they're not specific. And when you use a vasodilator like that, it causes all kinds of issues like pulling of blood in the ankles. So when you stand up, you have to do it very slowly because the heart, all your veins are sagged out like an elastic rubber band. So the veins and arteries are all sagged out instead of being tight like this, where they can pump the blood up to your brain, right? So that's what happens with a vasodilator. They're reducing the pressure. There are ways that you want to look at, potential alternatives that you can look at for blood pressure. If you want, we can. I can do a video on that on the Clean Living channel. Blood pressure hacks, let's call it. I never recommend getting off of it, but what'll happen is if you start doing other things for your blood pressure and movement, I know we hate doing this stuff, guys, but movement also gets it flowing, causes that the sagging of the vessels, that when you exercise, it actually causes more of a stronger pumping. But of course, the rubber band has been all pulled out and stretched out, so it's a little harder. So there's a lot of things you can do, and if you want, we can do one on blood pressure. People don't seem to like those kind. Everybody wants conspiracy theory videos. So you guys got to tell me what you want. Love you right back, Happy. David Strait took a helicopter ride with JFK Jr. on Mount Rushmore. Is that who they're saying? I saw the helicopter. I saw the hands up, the person standing up there. But again, and I think it's true. Let me tell you this. I think that is one of the ones that is true because Trump was involved in it. It was a big, big deal. And it was a standard Donald Trump presentation. Big show, big entrance. I think that was him. Now, I hadn't heard about David Strait. Like I said, I didn't know this man, that he was in the helicopter. Any footage that you got, boy, so that you know, especially when we're on these things. I know some of you are on phones and it's harder, but when we're on these things, if you got a link to something that is like verifiable, then we'll do a video on it of him doing it there. Like if you got a photograph of that is an AI, or at least something that substantiates what David Straight says. If you got a picture of David Straight in the helicopter, if he took one saying hi and JFK wasn't there, or JFK Jr. wasn't there, that's fine too. Send me links, guys. I need. Hi, my sweet love Timmy's there. He's got Wolfie pictures here. We haven't seen Wolfie today. Let's see. I hate when that goes up and jumps up. Rockstar. Hi, Rockstar. Rockstar's here. So we got Timmy here. Such a beautiful sovereign soul circle around here. We really do. Isn't it cool? We are all so blessed. You know, again, it's that mirroring. We can get on and we can spend our time going on to people like Nino that is screaming about, and it's like Chicken Little, or we can go a place where we still address the issues, but from a standpoint that is not all total doom and gloom. We have the power, guys. Anybody that thinks we don't have the power is missing it all. And they need to do a little soul searching, because we have the power. And I just think when we mirror each other and what's going on and the love that we have going on in this little group is just truly amazing. And not everybody is for that. I'll tell you what, if I put up a live stream of people that were mocking other people, and whoever did the best mocking, and we sat there and we made fun of people, we'd probably have a huge, huge following. But we don't. And people just aren't there yet. And that's okay. That's okay. Doesn't cost me anything for these, actually. I mean, I don't have to use editing software to do these lives. I just have to get up, and get dressed. But other than that, I can't really work for my jammies when I do this. But that's okay, too, because I need that. I need to get up. I need to get moving and stuff. I was told 1,000 for silver today. Not. What? I got to check this one, guys. Let's check this one. Hold on. Silver? I can't believe that. No, it wasn't even 100. It wasn't even 100. I think that's wrong. So, see, and when you guys see that, you guys need to say, this guy's a total liar, and I don't need to see that anymore. Let me see. Where's the charts? I want to get a chart. I'll show you what the kind of stuff I look at. Hang on. Here we go. Silver is $65.38. Let me show you how I know. And there's all kinds of them, all kinds. So it's not necessarily this one. But there's some that I use. This is Money Metals, and you can go here. And if you see here at the top, gold is $43.85. It was over 5,000 at one point. It was about 54, and we were doing the happy dance. And then here, silver is at 65. So whoever said 1,000, they're blowing smoke on you. And there are charts also. I don't see it on this one. Oh, here's the spot charts. All right, so see what you can see here. So this right here is 95 for those that don't know the charts. And this is today, 2026, all right? So you can see it started taking a huge jump. Now here, though, is where I was talking about it was higher. Oh, that's 1995. This is May. Let me go on this one. That's only 3 months. Let's go for 5 years on that. Now you can see here where it was over 5,000. See, this is over 5 years. We can cut it to 3 years. So see how just back when we bought, it was down in this area somewhere. No. Wow. It was even lower than that. We bought at less than 2,000. And so you can see here it was up over 5. Now it's 43. It's up and down, up and down. It's all artificial. Same with silver. My silver, I paid no more than about 30 was my max that I would top out at. And here's silver. Let's go to the 3-year. So see, there was a peak there when Trump took over. See that? Both of them was right around when Trump took over, that there was just a huge peak. And silver was up at 116. And now 63.59. So, we're just riding it. But notice it's not down here anymore, is it? Once it goes up, it's going to happen, guys. It's definitely going to happen. Tim's driving. Let's see. Oh, so you said they're going higher. No. Now, there are estimates that it will go. The estimate that I heard is silver could go. It's not now. Once they unleash it, it could go as high as 5,000 is what I heard. I think that's high, but I think it will definitely, let's see. Yeah, I think when everything is unleashed, I think 1,000, not today, but when we move to a gold-backed currency, I think it could go up to 1,000. And maybe higher, who knows? Yeah, Fauci. Oh, hi, Elizabeth. Elizabeth Sylvia. That's a new name. Fauci is evil. Whether he's a demon, you think he's possessed, huh? You don't think he's just money-hungry egomaniac? Huh, maybe. But I'm doing, so that you know, Elizabeth, the one I'm doing coming up about Mother Teresa is where I actually distinguish between someone that's possessed and someone isn't. Because I don't know if you guys know it or not, but Mother Teresa had an exorcism shortly before her death. Okay, let's see. As soon as the baddie Federal Reserve and stock market go down with no manipulation, yeah, it's definitely going to skyrocket. It has to skyrocket. There's only so much. I can't imagine anything but gold. Now, oil could be our backed currency or backing. It could be backing some of our currency. Remember, it doesn't have to be just gold. It could be any commodity, but you can't have more money than what the value of that is worth. So it could be oil, but I think U.S. is going to be gold backed, even though we're getting so much oil. Zuckerberg alive, huh? Zuckerberg. Purchased massive mansions on Tahoe, put 2 homes together. Curious if he's really there. Huh, what do you think, Tahoe? Ever seen Zuckerberg there? I think Zuckerberg took a legacy deal is what I think. And he may not even be destroyed. I don't know. Zuckerberg is another one that that strikes me as more of a whore than Gates. But, maybe I'm wrong. The doomsday clock is now at 85 seconds. It was at 2 minutes to midnight in 1994. Is nuclear holocaust our imminent fate? Oh my. Remember that innocent husband that I told you about? If he sees anything online and he listens to a liberal station all day long, because it's the only reason, not all day long, for one show in the morning, because it's the only station he can get, on his truck. But I thought you were listening to CDs, honey, or DVDs. What are CDs? Anyway, he listens to all this doomsday stuff on this liberal station for an hour show, and then he comes home and asks me about everything if it's a lie. Fugelberg Zuck, think they already yanked him out. That's my other option, Happy, and they have an actor or a clone in his place. And that's my option because he was sitting next to Trump at that one tech thing that they had. Possible, but he didn't go to that summit. Remember that summit that was all about technology, and he brought Musk over to was the World Economic Forum. I don't think that he brought Zuckerberg either. I know Gates wasn't there. So it's kind of odd, isn't it? All these tech people aren't there, and now they're into biology, which they know nothing about. No worries. Don't let these people bother you. Stay on your path, your journey. Shut out the negativity. Absolutely. Hope it's soon. I know, baby. I know. Trump calls him pencil neck. Yes. And I saw a a meme or something of him, and he had this real long neck, and the head was like, flopping around. Had the monsters, the actor. Now Donald says the real ones had the monsters. The actors probably don't. I think I know what you're thinking. Although, there's been talk about some of the actors of Biden being arrested too. So if you chose a job, although I have to say this, let me say this. I think that the deep state does have their own actors, but I also think that at least some of these actors are also, of the bad guys, are also the white hats to make them look like pure morons and keep them neutralized. So I think Biden, I just can't, and here's why I say that. I can't imagine if the deep state was going to put a Biden actor in there, why in the world would they make him look so stupid and brainless? You know what I'm saying? That makes no sense to me. That was disclosure. That was white hat disclosure. Biden was. So I think that we had Biden most of the time, at least. And there could be two of them. They could have their own when he had moments of lucidity. And then there's the white hat ones that do a press conference. The White House actor, a white hat actor that does a press conference, and can't find the door to the White House and stuff like that. So I think we both sides owned the actors too. After a real long time, I'm having conversations I couldn't hear. Get out, Tammy. You're kidding. You couldn't hear? Wow. A year ago. Wow. What is that from? I'm going through all of these, so it's hard to go back. That's amazing. Okay. Okay. You there. LL Irish. I usually don't ask such serious questions. Oh, you were serious about that, Tim? No. Okay. D-Day is not coming. It's not the end of the world in so many seconds. No. Tammy, feel free to be you. I'm in Iowa, where I live. Ah, that's right. Iowa. I think you mentioned that once before. The playmate that I met online was from Iowa, I believe. The Playboy playmate that is part of the whole Jeffrey Epstein thing. And she says she was part of it. And now she's fighting for the victims. I don't know. I think she's gone left when she should have taken a right. Q has been around a lot longer than most people think. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Kennedy's grave from above. That's an excellent one to show. F. Kennedy grave aerial. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. I've seen that. And that's why I'm doing this. Yep. Here it is, guys. I found it real easy. All right. So this is John F. Kennedy's grave. And when you consider 17 that you hear all the time, and Q, and President Trump, of course, is now coming out and doing numerous proofs on Q, this is John F. Kennedy's grave from above. There you go. Right there is the best. And that's pretty much like a Q, guys. It looks an awful lot like a Q. You could say it's a circle. Who knows? But it does look like a Q. So that's what he was talking about. Oh, your clients are in Omaha. I see. Okay. Huh. See, down here in South Florida, we have so far to go to get to another state. It's like 12, 15 hours from where I am to hit the state line. So, okay. Dandelion tea, no caffeine. Yes, no caffeine. Absolutely right. If you have high blood pressure, because well, although if you're on other drugs, but if you're not on drugs and you're trying to do it, you don't even want to create that, because caffeine constricts those vessels. It makes that hole in that vessel even smaller. So that's why you don't want to have caffeine if you have high blood pressure. All right. I've never stopped being me. Just getting better at it. That's what it's like to awaken, isn't it? It's my dad that's on it. Oh, your dad. Oh, okay, that's right. I think we've talked about this before. He has AFib and never had high blood pressure. Not his labs are saying he has. Oh, now the labs are saying he never had high blood pressure and he's on those 2 drugs? Huh. Okay. And now they're saying he has kidney damage. Did you, okay, well, first of all, everything we know that cells can regenerate now. They're not wanting to put him on dialysis or anything, are they? Is it mild kidney damage? Is it they want to put him on dialysis? Hard to say. Yes, Tammy, protect yourself first. Yep. Straight said it in his classroom. Oh, he had a classroom. Okay. David Street was working with a Bobby. Forget his name. He was running for senator. Bobby Kennedy? Or is that sooner? But withdrew apparently. Well, Bobby Kennedy didn't withdraw. Spirit, did you ever watch Trump's silent running? No, not. I did, and I fell asleep. Darn. I watched it if Timmy's on here, you want to watch that tonight? Usually when Tim gets home, I let him watch what he wants on TV, and it's usually news to catch up. So, I put it on and run it in my sleep all night long, and I'm up and down all night long. Belucci, I don't know what that is, but I have to check that. Trump silent running. I've got to see that. I put it on and then I fell asleep. But keep reminding me, Tahoe. Trump's one photographer that was running for South Carolina mayor took all the photos, all of the helicopter with JDK. Really? Photographer was running for South Carolina mayor. You guys, photographer. And he was taking the pictures of Mount Rushmore, you're saying? All right, see what we can find there, huh? Our little family is perfect. I know, isn't it? We are staying in the higher frequency. It is, and when it's necessary to do that, Happy, it really is necessary to do that. And I just love your name. That makes me happy every day. But we are staying in the higher frequency. Love that vibration. Very little conflict, smooth sailing. You know what? I'll tell you what, guys, there's never going to be conflict here, because those of you that have been on the channel for a while know my one rule about posting on the channel, and that is that you always must respect everyone else. And if you can't, you get one warning, and then your history. Darn, texting not working well today. Silver in the future after the banks fall and get revalued. That's what's supposed to happen as soon as the Federal Reserve and stock market crash. I wonder about that. Is that Happy? Yeah. Wonder about the crash on the stock market. It almost seems like they're trying to do it gently to prevent a crash. Because that one analysis I did on breaking the matrix, that if we completely crashed the market, we could be out of this mess in 2 years. And a lot of people are going to be harmed by it, but then there's the sovereign accounts and stuff. So it's possible. Who knows? Just cork on the ocean watching this, what's with Phil Godlewski? Another divorce already? Photos everywhere with a new woman. Is he a player or really capitalized? I think he's a jerk. I mean, he's got another woman. See, a lot of people warned her. What was her name? Carrie? A lot of people warned her. I didn't know that. So already Carrie's history, huh? Well, the first wife, he lost because apparently he had a relationship with one of his students' girlfriends. What he explained was that one of his students died, and he was consoling her. I guess the girlfriend of this guy, he was consoling her, and she even testified, but he threatened her or something. It was in the newspapers. It was a very, very big fight, public fight. But Carrie married him anyway. As she went to Hawaii with all of his houses, he made all that money ripping people off on gold and silver is what he did. And that's why I don't want to ever do that. I don't want to get into one of those multi-marketing money pyramids and stuff and rip people off. That's why I haven't monetized yet. I have to find a way, but I just couldn't do that. He's very wealthy from what I understand. Tahoe said, I felt desperate for a win after losing everything, but didn't trust, but me either. Didn't trust buying Zims, dinar. I don't even know what a Zim is or a dinar or a dong, I mean, gold. Give me just, Americans like gold and silver, and silver is cheap enough. My mom, my little mom who lived on, $800 a month in her little rent controlled apartment, she had a little silver, and she didn't do much with it because it didn't really go up, but she was able to give it to us, and now we're holding it. And me and my sister, it was split up. And so I would never get rid of it. Of course, unless it went up high enough, but you know what I'm saying? She didn't get to get it, but she passed it down to her kids. Donald, who do you think they are all actors? I see. I don't know about that. Gates has a look in his eye. He does, Tammy. He is demonic. Like I said, other than Hillary, I think he's possessed. That look is pure evil. Trump says central casting. It's true. It's Trump's humor. I know. Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know if it's every one of them, but yeah, he does. Clone baby. Biden fell so many times. I'll tell you what. It's horrible when people really have Alzheimer's and stuff, but just watching that show was hilarious. I kind of miss that, don't you? But it's a cue. I kind of miss that. That's what I'm saying. That had to be the white hats sitting up late at night with a couple beers or a drink, saying, "What do we do to him next?" I could see that happening because that's how spooks work. That's what they do. They got to do something, What a long, strange trip it's been. Did you ever think, who ever in their wildest imagination 30 years ago thought any of this? Yeah, you knew it was dirty, but really could comprehend everything that was going on. It's been wild. Nothing is off the table. Yeah, that's how I feel too. I'm an open book, guys. I came out, okay, I'm out. There are a couple people that could still want to do me in for my old life. And that's basically the children of somebody that was threatening me because one of the children were involved. But at this point, let me see. She was 30 then. Hold on 1 second ago. 1 second. 20 minus. So this was, I had a lot of death threats about 23 years ago. And his wife and his daughter was in her late 20s then, maybe 28. So she's pushing 50 at this point. Who knows? Yeah, she could be a wacko liberal. Who knows? But, I just had to follow my dharma, guys. I had to. My mom's gone. My dad's gone. And those are the ones that they were threatening along with me. My daughter is loaded to the hilt with, she's armed to the teeth. My daughter has like a pink AK. She's unreal. And I'm not too worried about it. What a long stranger about. I have nothing to hide. Yep. So I'm an open book too, guys. I'm not perfect. I'm just me. Yeah, the Q grave. Wasn't that cool? That's the look. He just looks like a big old blast of cocaine. He does. You're right. With those eyes. I mean, can you imagine if I came on here like this? I'm conscious about my lids hanging, but I would never do that. I mean, that's silly. I think the guy has some kind of thyroid issue or something personally. They said President Lincoln was a white hat. That wouldn't surprise me. Well, he wanted to free the slaves. It wouldn't surprise me. Listen to all the words, Spirit. Listen to all the words, Spirit, Trump says during the video. I'm not sure which one. Not sure. Tell me which video. Gene Ho, one of his trusted family photographers. Yeah. Now, Gene Ho, something came up with him recently, and some people are thinking that he might have flipped, or at least he's going against President Trump. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, so Gene Ho, you're saying Gene Ho was the one that was in the... Now, that sounds like something in the helicopter. That sounds like something that I did here years ago, now that you've reminded me of it, that Gene Ho was. In case you guys don't know, Gene Ho bought George magazine that used to be RFK Jr.'s magazine. And he's done some pretty interesting covers on there. So I'm going to start watching him a little closer because he's back in the scene now. And, you know, when there are minor people, if there's a minor disagreement with a Trump policy or something, that could all be, you know, that could all just be theater. You know what I'm saying? So just because somebody has a minor agreement with POTUS or anybody in the administration that we trust, it doesn't mean that they have flipped necessarily. I think there's a lot of theater out there. If you don't want to be pegged as being part of, you know, connected in that sense. So I don't think he's a bad guy. I think he's too far into it. But I'll tell you what, guys, enough money and people do almost anything. And it depends on their circumstances. You won't let them do dialysis. I know the outcome of that road, yeah. I wanted to email you to pick your brain. Okay, so you have the email to go to, and then do it this one, and I'll look out for it. I'm going to have to, I have so many things. I was thinking about hiring somebody to tell me how to monetize this. I have an idea of ways to monetize it, which will be a little bit different. There you go. Just put the address up. And if you do it there, give me a few days, because that's really a bad interface, and then I'll connect with you on another one. By Justin Belushi. That's it. Okay. Gosh, all of you guys have seen this. I don't have time for this. That's why I never see these things. Yeah, we talked about that before, and on Friday, I think it was, and I didn't see it. So anyway, East Texas here. Oh, hi, Bill. No problem. I'm glad to see you. So glad to see you. You have to watch the beginning. We went over all the stuff that I had before, that I had put together, some of the news. It was broken up in a little way, so perfect video. I didn't see the song, guys. I didn't see that. But you know what? We're just glad that you're here to share your energy with us, Bill. Let's see. So you won't let them do. All right. So I put that down there. Give me a few days. I'm terrible on emails. I don't use them very often, but for something private like that. Anyway, I'm thinking, if any of you guys can think, what I'm thinking about doing is on the ExPharmacist channel, and maybe on the Clean Living that's still growing, is doing some kind of membership, which will have a newsletter of things that we didn't talk about, that might be on some of these, or just bullets of things we hadn't talked about on a newsletter type situation. So you get something in addition for membership. And the other one was having a membership where people automatically get a transcript of everything that I produce. So so that's something I'm thinking about. Unfortunately, that takes setting up auto responses to where I don't have to hit every one of you to send that that newsletter or those transcripts to. It's got to be automated. So I'm thinking about looking for a college kid or something to do something like that for me. If anybody knows how to do it, let me know and what it would cost. Yeah, you know, Gene Ho was a trusted family photographer. That's another reason I don't think that he's gone to the dark side. All right. Can't see if chat is going further. Not able to see. Please keep posting comments. Huh. Yeah, post them. I'm good. I love our family. We have a safe place for everything we do. And it's love and authenticity. You know, it's love, it's gratitude, it's hope, it's every high frequency I can think of, guys, that that we bring. We really do. Oh, you never see. Well, Donald is not a big commenter, but he's posting unless he's banned you. Did you block her, Donald? Heard she's hospitalized, cosmetic surgeries with their windfall. Don't know who that is. Don't know who we're talking about, Tahoe. Gotta go up to Tahoe. No, we're talking Jean Ho. I don't know. Who are you talking about? Let's see. White hats, Biden was controlled. Yeah, I think he was controlled by the White Hat. He had to be. How stupid could one be to put a bumbling, you know, you're trying to replace him with somebody that looks like it's going to help you lose? No, that didn't make sense. Maybe they had one of their own that tried to make him look lucid, but I think the one we saw falling up the plane steps and everything was a white hat Biden. 3 hours, White Coat Pharmacy is closing soon. Has it been that long? Wow. You know, I threw out so many of these, but I kept 1 or 2 of them. Check on that silver. Don't know what that means. Check on it. Yeah, I did check on it. Tammy, it's not $1,000 if that's what you mean. It was, what was it? 60 some dollars an ounce, which is good, but yes, the poisonous baddie big pharma should be closing down soon. The Biden narrative, there's somebody that looked lucid. It's a mask. Anybody. I could become Biden before your eyes right now, you know? So if I was a good enough actor. So I think that each had their own, because there were times when he was more lucid and not so bumbling. And the money that the deep state had, of course, they'd put somebody in trying to save them. Having a lucid president at the time or convincing people of that, unless there really is a deal made and they're done fighting. I don't know. There could be a deal made and they're done fighting. East Texas. Okay. Perfect song to go with the video, in my opinion. I don't know. Remember which song. Thank you. The chat stopped for me. Last one was Shelly talking about her dad's heart. Okay. Is it back on, guys? Back on? Yeah. Our sister's still talking. Can you see me? I'm on the way to the store. Oh, Donald's on the way to the store. Utsava did buy me a coffee with her intel. Oh. Buy me a coffee? I never heard. I mean, I've heard of that. That's a thought. The problem is, whatever I do, this is what I learned. You know, you learn on the thing. YouTube, when I went through YouTube's stuff that they had, they keep 30% of everything. And Loyal One was a member, and he would deposit into he said, I don't want to give it to them, and he knew what was going on way back then. Kerry Godlewski, yes. He knew what was going on way back then, and he said, no, let me Zelle this to you. And that's what he would do, because he didn't want to be giving them money, and I don't want to give him money either. Kerry Godlewski. Now you froze for a second. Okay, I see you all. Okay, are we caught up here, guys? We caught up? I wonder where Timmy is. Let's check it where Timmy is. And we never heard back from Medj, did we? Where are you? Got to put a babe on there. Okay. So looks like, yep, we're caught up. Okay, we're caught up. See you all. All right, so we're caught up and everything's good. All right, anything else we need to talk about? What's going on, guys? Oh, so the big Mother Teresa one. Man, I did a lot of work on that, guys. I did a lot of work. Someone post some things. I did a lot of work on that one. And let's put it this way. And I'm going to put it to you. I'm not completely done with the Fauci connection yet, but I don't think she's his father. However, the whole child trafficking thing, a lot of circumstantial stuff there. Not only circumstantial, but there was actually prosecutions against them, and police said that they did bad things, a lot of bad things. So But then again, like I said, she wanted, she I have to show you. I found diaries of Mother Teresa, excerpts of it, and I'm going to give you links to all of these things so that you can tell. I suspect I'm going to be hit pretty hard by some religious people on that one, and I'm going to keep it completely factual with links. So that particular one will have a lot of links on it. Let me see what else I got going here, guys, for you in the future. I had a thought of why self-healing doesn't always work. I was thinking every time I go back to Dan's, I like I said, I get taken away with other things. I'm trying to focus on the crystals, but I get distracted. And so that was one. Why doesn't self-healing work from a medical standpoint, not just from a, supposition standpoint, but from an actual medical, biological, neurological reason why we may be able to self-heal for years and years and years, and then all of a sudden something happens and we aren't able to save ourselves like Dan did. Now, Dan, I have to say, he didn't have a chance with whatever he had. That was the worst of worst. That was as bad as pancreatic cancer, what he had. It was bad. So I have one about, what did I put on this one? Let's see, Bill Gates creating, but oh yeah, did you notice that one, guys? I got one I'm doing on, Gates is now paying to synthesize bioweapons, and he's doing it in the public at Stanford University and the Arc Institute. And they're using artificial intelligence now to design these novel viruses. Is that scary? So I'm working on that one. What's this one? This is an interesting one. I have all these notes. I start them. Grok defends Fauci. I don't know if you guys want to see something like that. I went through, and Josh Hawley, Senator Josh Hawley, who was just great on that whole Senate hearing, he posted a comment. Fauci is still getting his government pension even after raking in $1 million in illegal cash prizes. He's a scam artist and he needs to be put behind bars. Today was another step forward. And then some guy made a thing and asked Grok to analyze that. And the way they put it, it was very biased, and they only wanted to know the misinformation in that statement, not the information. So they set the thing. So I went back and forth with Grok on it. And that's more of a thing on how to argue with the AI, basically. The monad is still hanging out there. Quantum entanglement is out there to get a better feel of that. The polio vaccine, for some reason, I did something with the polio vaccine. Oh, something to do with the Cutter incident that refers to a real 1955 manufacturing failure involving early batches of the inactivated polio vaccine, and how shortly, and it was something around there, the whole conspiracy thing that went on around there. I still have the Tartarian civilization. Not a lot coming in with that for me, coming through for me, but I haven't done a lot of research on it. I'm just not inspired by it yet. My starseed activation, I've got that. Some things that I've noticed. Vietnam Operation Baby Lift, if you haven't ever heard of that one. That was a 1975 U.S.-led airlift that evacuated 3,300 orphans, Vietnamese orphans and children from Saigon. And it was done by, guess who? Hugh Hefner's Playboy Big Bunny jet. Transported about 40 of them domestically. So that is going to be another one that I'm looking at. Indicators of the deep state turnover. Did I already do that one? No. So I have one that's indicators of the deep state turnover, which we kind of did today, and we're doing on these, aren't we? Also have the Philadelphia experiment up there. Did all the rest. And crop circles. The reason I had crop circles up here was that there was recently the 16th crop circle of the 2026 season on July 7th in England. And so I was going to cover that. Don't know if you guys have any interest in that or what. So just pop out whatever might be of interest to you. I'm always up for some kind of, I'm always up for suggestions, let's put it that way. And I'll do my best. You guys are great. You know what's a funny thing is that we have as many men as we have on here. It really is. She is still talking. Actually, I have more male subscribers than I do female. Isn't that odd? She's still talking about on the TV about the orphans and the deep state turnover. Is somebody not hearing me? Chat only shows. You have to refresh that. All right, so either refresh it. Yes, I can see you. Oh, you're asking Patricia, Happy, if she can see you. Refresh it and come back in, or get out. Close it and come back in. Try refreshing. Okay, try refreshing, and then go back in. Look at her. You can always watch the end too. Our beautiful Patricia. Holly Madison, others came out about the Playmate. Yeah, and the thing is too, Tahoe, that Playboy Playmate that I knew, she told me a lot about the deal with the devil. She's married to an ex-Illuminati family member, and who his grandmother paid him to get out of the Illuminati. And she's real connected, but she swore, and now she's gone to the liberal side, but she swore to me that Hefner, there was no tunnels there. She lived in the Playboy Mansion around the same time as that TV show he had with the girls. In fact, she was up in the running for that TV show he had, The Girls Next Door, before he got the twins in. But she swore there were no tunnels. She lived there for 2 years, I think, and there was never any improprieties. Yet you hear all these other ones saying that they wanted to vomit every time he came near them, and that they had their duties that they had to do. Oh, Donald's back now. Oh, Donald went driving. Oh, crop circles, you like those, Shelley? Okay. Yeah, they're kind of weird. And there was something that came up. The reason that caught my eye is somehow Dan Willis came up in crop circles in my thing. It's freezing a bit. Okay. I'm not sure who that is that's freezing, but Tartarian civilization history is quite interesting. I found it more relative to resets and wiping out history in order to control the population. Oh, okay. So we want them. See, the problem is some of that information is hard to find and validate. That's the problem I always have with that. Same way with, I believe that I lived in Lemuria. Okay, call me crazy, drop off now, but I believe that at some past life, there's many, many reasons why I have it. Some of you know, but try to find anything on Lemuria that can be validated. In these past civilizations, it's very hard to find any kind of validation. Nobody's there to testify about it. And if it's been suppressed, it really becomes difficult. So I'll look into that. Oh, yeah, you do. Happy does. I'll take a look. Okay, so Happy's got them on the Tartarians. So it seems like you guys want to hear about that, okay? Blunt time had to go get wraps. What did they call that? 420, is that it? 420? Just get off work or something? You guys crack me up. All right, I'll look into that. I want to get Mother Teresa out first. I've got to get something on the Clean Living channel. I've got to get that honey one out. It's almost done. And then as soon as I get them out, I'll see if I can't be inspired to do the Tartarian one. And let's see what we got. See what we can confirm. Happy's TV's got it. All right, I'll take a look at that. So yeah, that's the thing. We always want to dig in and see what we can find. And like that thing with Mother Teresa. I couldn't believe it. I was running into so many dead ends on it. And when I found those writings of hers, and they're actually published in a book on Amazon. It's not there anymore. It's not that one. But I'm going to give you a link to it. And it's weird because sometimes when it's a book on Amazon, you only get one page or you get no pages. There's a whole lot of pages of her writings that you can read on it. So it's really cool. It's 4:20 all day. I'm retired and only work on what I choose to. Isn't that great? Isn't that great? My poor sweetie. You got to marry a woman that's at least retired with you, Donald, because my poor sweetie has to work so hard. So, okay, so Tartarian, I got that. Buy me a coffee. And then we have the crop circles. And then things pop into my head, you know, and shamrocks, up, music, hearts, and love. Everyone stay safe, stay strong, stay positive. Sounds like it's coming to a close. Well, yeah, we're winding down. Tim will be home soon. And I got to get working. I want to get that Mother Teresa one up. What about a dive into Inner Earth? Huh. Well, I know about the ant people, Inner Earth. And that's another one that's difficult, but I'm sure we can find something on it. Inner Earth. What's going on the Inner Earth? Yeah, okay, let's see what we can find out about that. All right. Donald's good. Oh, Donald's good. Oh, you're good. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying. You're good. You got somebody already, or you're good alone. Either way. Okay. Thank you, Spirit. I mean, thank you, Patricia. You know, I rest when I rest. Kind of weird. I'm not I get up at 8 in the morning, but sometimes I don't go to sleep till 3 in the morning. So it's kind of odd. I don't feel like I need more. And that's okay, because I heard that as your brain begins to work more, you sleep less. So I'm okay with that. I heard it when they were destroying everything, a lot of the Tartarian giants. That's what I saw when I first did a little quick thing about giants and other beings that were conquered, headed under Earth. Oh, now it's timing in. All right, now it's coming together. Did the Tartarians go inside the Earth? Is that what you guys are trying to tell me? See, I found it. I forget what it was. You get up at 3. So does Tim get up at 3 a.m. I'm going to bed. He's getting up. Move to the Inner Earth. All right. Good. Okay. 3 a.m. Yep. 3 a.m. Lots happening. I can just be more productive there. You know what I'm saying? In the middle of the night, I can be a lot more productive. And I've done it since the days of my college, so no big deal. Okay. All right. So I think we're done here, guys. Today, it's Tuesday. We got Friday. I've got to get the comments on the channel. I know I'm behind, but you know I'll get to them. And I love you guys. I'll look for that email from you, Shell. I think it's Shell. I'll look for that email from you. And but be patient with me. So love you guys. Talk to you soon. Everything's fine. Oh, no. Sorry, don't go. Please, let's take a moment for our beautiful little Tahoe. All right, Tahoe's got some struggles. She's going to have some surgery, which I think is a smart move. And she's going to, many people come back from her condition. But I would like to send her some energy, if you guys would. So if you would just close your eyes for a second. And I just want you to imagine Tahoe. We don't have a picture of her, and sometimes that helps when we have a picture. But we know where she is, right? We know where she's at, and she's in Tahoe. And we are sending our vibrations all the way over to their healing warmth, golden energy that is just shooting out into the universe with her name on it. And she is open. She is open right now. Her chest is open, not her brain, her chest, where her core is, her soul is open, and she's receiving all of those darts of love and energy, points of energy, points of life. She's absorbing it. And all of us are with her, and we will be with her when she has her surgery. and after. We're not going to abandon her. Our love is always with her. And you know what? Let's do this, guys. Let's just silently make a note right now. Just as a community, let's help our girl. Every day I'm making a note right here. And what I'm going to do is every day I'm just going to take a moment. It's not going to take me very long at all. I'm just going to close my eyes, think of her, and say, I love you, Tahoe. So let's do that. Everybody, once a day, just send her some love, okay? However you have to do that. If it's prayers at night that you do, or prayers in the morning, or whatever it is, keep Tahoe, please. This is what this community is about. And she needs our support, and she has come so far. She has come so far. If you guys knew her story, I don't feel it's my place to tell it, but she has been through so much. And I feel very strongly that she's going through a fourth density transition right now. She can get better. We're going to make it happen because she's got a community of love around her. Okay, guys, I love you. Thank you for being there for me. Thank you for being there for Tahoe. Yep. Prayers for Tahoe. Like Wonder Girl Tahoe, you will be stronger. Everybody. Okay. All right, guys, I love you every day. Think of Tahoe, at least for a little while, all through Antarctica, which is multiple. Yeah, that's what I heard also. Shelley says they think there's a way to the inner earth in the Grand Canyon. Really? And you remember Jules Verne? Remember that one? Journey to the Center of the Earth? They always tell you in movies. So there's a Grand Canyon portal to the center, huh? All right. Take these notes down. All right. Okay, guys. Gene Code is a good source spirit for inner earth. Okay, good. Yeah, I trust Gene too pretty well. I mean, but as you know, like I've said, when I trust somebody, I trust them from what I know, but I'm also aware that they can always be flipped. Some people I felt could never be flipped, but some people can be flipped. Oh, he's still far away. Wow, he's going to be late. Timmy's going to be late tonight, working hard, earning the money. Okay, my love. Okay, so Wonder Girl. I love that little Wonder Girl Tahoe. Oh, look at all of those. Look at all of those hearts. Look at that, guys. Hearts, hearts, hearts. Oh, how do I do those? Mine are going up top. They're not going in my thing. Oh, I see. Okay. I don't have love. How do I get love? Here, I'll do this one because it came up. Sealed with a kiss. No, that's not the one I wanted. Hold on. You guys are unbelievable. These are all going. Every one of these have a little point of love in them. Here we go. Isn't this a Band-Aid one fixing? There we go. You guys are great. All of those, every one of those are love coming to you, Tahoe. Every single one of them. Just imagine that. See it happening. See it happening. So much love for you, sweetheart. Look at Donald. Oh, Donald's got the Red Cross one. Isn't that cute? I never saw that one. That's beautiful. Okay, guys. And if any of you ever need prayers, let's just put this community to work because I know that I'm not a real religious person. All the love in the furthest universe to all of you. Gosh, thank you. Happy the same to you. Look at that. Beautiful frequencies. He's got little music frequencies on there and hearts and angels and prayers and feeling great feelings of love and stars. Gosh, it's great, isn't it? All right. I hate leaving you. Is that crazy? I hate leaving you guys. That's so funny. That's so funny. I'm blessed. What old lady like me can do this? You know, I mean, it's just unbelievable. Unbelievable where you guys have brought me. Where we go one, we go all. Absolutely. Absolutely. I love those hearts. I'm going to do one of these for that one. I love playing with that thing. I'm still learning about all this. Isn't that cool? I don't want to do that one face on there. All right, guys. I'm going to have some dinner now, I guess, instead of where we go one, we go all. Absolutely. I'm going to do that. I have to put that. And don't forget this one. That's even more important right now. I want you guys to understand that it's coming, guys. Hang on, because it's coming, and it's gonna be like a wrecking ball when it comes down. All of these perverts and stuff going. It's gonna be amazing. All right. So you don't have a date or anything on your surgery, do you, Tahoe? You don't have a date going. You're still doing the research, and you've got that email address. If you want, you can contact me. I'll do whatever research if you need help researching, and you're going to get better. It's going to be great, and we're going to get rid of that. And I would never tell you to do something if I thought it was wrong for you, sweetheart. And I'm not saying I'm perfect, but when I saw Linda and the metastasis that she underwent, and now she's really having some difficulty. So I don't want to see that happen. I don't want to see that happen. You're the best. I love you. Thank you for putting your faith in me, guys. All of you. I love you so much. Okay, I'm going to go eat. I don't know what yet, but I'm going to go eat. Maybe a salad. Nice spinach salad with egg. That's what I had last night. Okay, guys. Love you. Friday, I hope to see you all and learn about Mother Teresa real soon. Okay? Okay, guys. Bye-bye. We're going to end this now. Bye. I love you. Oh, wait. Not yet. Not yet. Tammy was typing. The silver cement was during the time you were actually checking on it. Silver cement? Silver cement. When I was checking on the silver? I'm sorry, I don't have I can't make the connection. Give me a full sentence. Look at Donald. The silver cement. 19th. Oh, the 19th is consult day. Okay. Gosh, they're taking a long time. Aren't they? Okay. Well, they must not feel that it's that imminent or something. I don't know. But you were going to check into another one too, one of the more group ones where you have the team effort on there. I don't know what the silver cement means. Silver cement was during actually checking. I was checking on the silver price. Tell me, Tam. I can't go up and look at these so easily. So if I miss them, there's so many comments, which I'm so thankful for that you guys are involved. I love talking to you guys, but I don't know what silver cement is. Anybody know? Anybody? Tammy put the silver cement was during the time you were actually checking on it. And also, guys, you can go right to any, you can go to even Google, I'm sure, DuckDuckGo, and just put price of silver today. Oh, I thought it would pop it up, but it's on the AI. You can go to the AI. Duck. They have one, but let's see. DuckDuckGo is not the best one. 64.56 a troy ounce. Okay, that was off Kitco. So you can do that too. I don't know if that's what we're talking about. Oh, here we go. Yeah, finally home, but the connection always sucks in my vortex. Oh, gotcha. Okay. She didn't mention it earlier. Okay, all about insurance money. With the healthcare system. Yeah, it is. No doubt about it, I know. Oh, you mean as far as the appointments and stuff like that? Yeah. I hear you. Like I said, if you want to reach out, we can look for some resources. I know that you're in a situation too. So I know. Hey, do the consult. And like I said, we can We can look up some resources and, oh, but it's the damn insurance won't let, I see what you're saying. The insurance won't let you go to somebody else. You know what you might try, Tahoe? You might try calling your insurance company or calling your provider and the one that did the referral, your primary. I hate that when they do that. And just say, look, I'm looking to go to a cancer hospital or institute. Can you refer me to one? And just say, I have a pain in the butt sister that is bugging the heck out of me and dogging me and wants me to go to one of those. And just see, you know, kind of like use whatever you have, whatever ammo you can, and just say, I'd really like to, can I get a referral? I'd prefer to go to a referral to a comprehensive clinic nearby. Let me just check something here for you. I'm going to check something. Let me go to the right one. All right, hold on. Can you give me a list of cancer comprehensive near Tahoe that take, I'm just going to assume it's Medicaid or Medicare. Let me just see if there's any institutes that you can refer yourself to. Gene Upshaw Memorial Tahoe Forest Cancer Center. Okay, let me just answer one thing. I am looking for one. There's also Carson in Carson City. I am looking for one with a holistic team approach. Okay, let me just see here, guys. Carson Tahoe Cancer Center, the holistic integrative approach. What they offer goes through all this stuff. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to put a link to this chat for you so that we don't bore everybody. Although I know they're not. They're caring so much about you. All right, this is a chat here, Tahoe, that's got potential place. It actually puts all the text. I'll put it there, and you can maybe copy it. Oh, I've got too many letters in it. This only lets us do so many. All right, that's not going to work. I should get a link. Hold on. Some of them give you a link. This one doesn't. Branch into new chat, listen, export to docs. Yeah, it doesn't. All right, I'm just gonna run these by you real quick. There's Gene Upshaw Memorial, Tahoe Forest Cancer Center. It's primary local facility directly serving the Tahoe Basin, offering full medical oncology, hematology. And these, I specifically asked for ones that took Medicare and Medicaid. Generally accepts Medicare and standard California Medi-Cal through local county plans. So I don't know if that one would work because it's not Nevada. There's Carson Tahoe Cancer City. That one accepts Medicare and Nevada Medicaid. Throughout the state, Medicaid cross coverage can require prior authorization. Affiliations, they're also affiliated with the Huntsman Cancer Institute. That is Carson City Tahoe Cancer Center. Medical oncology, radiation, ambulatory infusion, blah, 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 blah. So that looks like a good one. UC Davis Comprehensive. Theirs accepts Medi-Cal, but there are local facilities in Tahoe Forest can help coordinate direct referrals and local care coordination. If you are located specifically on the South Shore of Tahoe, I guess, South Lake Tahoe, partners directly with the Gene Upshaw Memorial Tahoe Forest Cancer Center and provides local telehealth oncology services and care coordination to minimize the need for travel to every appointment. That was the UC Davis, it looks like, Barton Health. If you are looking, Barton Health Partners with Gene Upshaw Memorial. I'm going to put that one. So have you checked? Let me first check. Are you aware of any of these? I'm sure Carson Tahoe is where my oncologist is. Oh, very kind man. Okay, good. Then that's a good thing. But the facility, I called 6 times, no callbacks ever. I hate that. Even took a bus up the road there. No call back. See, that sucks. Medicare, okay. Of course, sweetheart. And Happy has heard phenomenal things about the Carson Institute, the Nevada side. Okay, had to answer the phone. Yes, that's the best approach. Call for a referral, and you can also give them the name of your desired doctor that you want to go to, as well as many that you work with. So, okay. So, all right. So he's there, and you're not getting, what do you say, guys? She's not getting phone calls back, and she even went up there. And, I used to work, I was one of the opening pharmacists at Moffitt Cancer Center when they first opened. And it was the Disney World of cancer and AIDS back then. It was unbelievable. And then when my dad got cancer, we took him there, and they couldn't find their butt with both hands, if you know what I mean. They were terrible. They were sending him to the wrong clinics, making the wrong appointments. So when they get big, that's sometimes what happens. They even have organic gardens outside, but go figure, nobody calls back. All calls go to a voicemail box. All right, hold on one second. All right, so let's just try something here. Hold on. And that was which one? Carson? Okay, let's just put this here. I have my doctor works out of Carson, but I have left 6 messages and gone there and can't get a phone call. Any suggestions? Sometimes they come up with stuff like this. We'll see. Dealing with communication breakdowns. Contact the patient experience relationships team. I'm going to put this number here, and I've got 2 other things. That's a good thing, is to always go to the top. This is the number they gave, and you want rather than calling your doctor direct line or front desk, go above them to the hospital system's internal advocates. Their job is specifically to cut through the administrative red tape, investigative why communication has broken down, and force a response from the clinical staff. I'm going to give you a phone number and an email. And when you call, you tell them you want to speak to the patient experience team, if you can ever get through. But here's a number I'm going to put on there, as well as an email address. It may be what you have. It may be, it may not. Bye, Tammy. Have a great night, sweetheart. Okay, there's the phone number. That makes me feel a little bit better that you're going there instead of just a private office. And you talk to him about the team, anything. Say, I want everything checked. I want a team approach to this. Don't be afraid. That's the best advice I can give to anybody. It's a red flag on service. The reception is poor, not the doctors. Yeah, and that's true too. All right. Then you have an organic gown. Yeah, that's okay. So we're kind of caught up there. All right. So, and let me put the name of what it said to specifically ask for. That's the thing. Go to the top. Sometimes what I do, and they've kind of cleaned this up a lot, but because I can research, obviously, let me put this right here. Go to the hospital's internal advocate. You want a patient advocate. It says, state clearly that you are a patient trying to establish or maintain vital care, and you need the advocate or relations team. Sometimes it helps. Even these nurse navigators, too busy to call back. Yet patient relation, yes, patient relation. Why didn't I think of this? Tired brain. Okay. All right. So you haven't done that yet. All right. So you know about that. So state clearly this, that it's vital care that you're looking for. Going to the right channel, starting from the top. Exactly, Happy. You're right. I mean, just be a bulldog, sweetheart. Be a bulldog and go to the top. And if you don't have any luck with them, then go higher. But could be they never check. No. I think what's happening is whoever they're referring it to is not calling back. Who are you trying to get a hold of, Tahoe? The doctor? Or is it or does he have an office? Yeah, you got to do the squeaky wheel syndrome. You know what we used to call it in when I worked for the state? The stinking coat. Become the stinking coat. That's that guy that walks into the bank and stinks so bad at the end of a long line, and they open up a window and call him over because he stinks so bad and they want to get rid of him. Be the stinking coat is what I always say, or the squeaky wheel, but I say stinking coat. Yeah, just this is your life, baby. And and just tell the advocate, say, I'm really concerned here. I've called 6 times. I can't even get a call back. What does that say about the quality of care that I'm going to get if I can't even get a phone call? So, if you have to write it down ahead of time, do that. I'm big on taking notes of my thoughts and putting them down when they come in. But yeah, definitely go higher. And let's just ask one other thing. Bypass the clinic via, have you tried centralized scheduling? That's another one. And there's also an online message portal. Let me give you all of these so you've got them. That's centralized scheduling. Call every number you can call. And even if you're not trying to schedule, just say, I need to get a hold of my doctor and you've left me nothing. And then here is the direct line for the cancer center. Oh, so this is not just cancer. Okay. Here's the cancer center direct line. I'm going to put a bunch of stuff here that we've got here. Anybody else have any ideas for Patricia? And then there's an online portal. If your doctor's office uses an electronic portal like My Chart, you can send a message through the portal. If you don't get a response in 24 to 48 hours, reply to that same thread and say, this is my second message through the portal regarding an urgent matter. Please escalate this to the practice manager. And then show up and request the practice manager if none of that works. Since you've already tried going there in person, try a different approach next time. Instead of just speaking to the front desk receptionist, who often shields the busy back office, politely ask to speak directly with the office manager or practice supervisor on duty. Let them know face-to-face that you have left 6 messages without a callback. Management has the authority to walk back to the nurse's station or physician's desk and get an immediate answer for you. Ah, there you go. So if it's just a question and you can't get an answer, there you go. But they hide, so I took a bus. Gotcha. Okay. All right, so you've got some things there. Keep us posted on Friday. You've got a little while to the surgery. Everybody's going to be thinking of you every day. And you just be open. Just open your, right here, I can't see. Right here in the center of your chest, guys. Open that up, Patricia. Open that up and think of just this cone-like portal coming out. And all of these points of love that are being sent to you are just being funneled right into that center of your chest. Okay, guys, I think we've got everything that we need to cover now, and I'm so glad we ended on a way with Tahoe, our little star today, our little fighter. They need to log into the reception, so don't log in and check. Best wishes. Open your heart, sweet Tahoe. That's true. Okay. All right, guys, I love you. And we will talk Friday. Okay? All right. Keep looking at the channel because I am getting the videos up there. I promise you. Love you guys. Okay. And I almost ended the stream before that. Just something told me not to. Okay, guys. I love you. Ending the stream now. Bye-bye.